Shalom, Israel. Give honor to the Most High and Son, Yahweh. Happy Sabbath to brothers and sisters that's in the building today. Happy Sabbath to you, brothers and sisters that will be following and tuning in online. Just praise the Most High for this joyous occasion, this holy convocation, that we get a chance to come together and get some understanding, to be around like-minded brothers and sisters. Give the Most High God all the credit for being a merciful and compassionate God. Man, let's get the Most High God in hand here. The Lord dealing with us, man, with mercy and compassion. That is an all-time God. It is. Because things that we do in this world, man, we know that sometimes we're not worthy. But the Lord, He still puts His neck on the line for His chosen people. So we just want to give Him praise and glory. Today we'll be trying to get some understanding and a lesson. Today's class is "Let No Man Take Your Crown," Spirit of Joseph. Let no man take your crown, the Spirit of Joseph. Because that's what in this walk, man, that's what it's about. It's about not letting people have dominion over you, or having people getting you out the spirit. Oh man, she got me out the spirit. He got me out the spirit. Then when you come to your judgment day, you weren't able to take over that old man or that old woman, or beat that old man and that old woman, and then you don't receive your crown because of these little situations, these small or minor afflictions, as the Most High God called them. So we want to make sure that we're doing our absolute best, giving the Most High 100%, that we don't let anybody steal your crown or take what's rightfully yours, which is the kingdom of the Most High God. It's up to us to get this out. Us being born into this great nation of people, the kingdom is yours. But are we going to let people take it away from us? So let no man take your crown. And we're going to Joseph, man, because Joseph went through some hardship, man, with his brothers, man. But ultimately, it was the will of the Most High God for us going through these things. Your trials, your tests, your tribulations, it's the Most High God's doing. And a lot of times we can't see it, but we just got to believe in it. That's where faith comes to play. So we have that true faith. With that being said, let's start out with Sirach. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 33. Sirach chapter 33 and verse 19. You get there, I keep you down and bring it in.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 19.
Bring it up.
Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee, while thou livest.
Now, we always bring this precept out, man. This is the well-known precept in our nation. But it's a heavy precept, and it means a lot. The Most High God tried to cover and clear everybody or anybody that could mean something to you, right? That's close to you, that you have love for. And He said, don't let any one of these people have power over you. You know, the Most High God put a wife and a husband together. That's the biggest thing, man, right? But even the Most High God said, don't let your wife have dominion over you. Don't let your children have dominion over you. Don't let your husband take your crown away, man. We tell brothers and sisters this all the time in counsel for those that are married. Somebody has to stay in the spirit. Who wants that crown? The Most High God gave you names of people that are dear to you, man. Brother, sister, mother, wife, son, daughter. And He told you, don't let them have dominion over you, man. That means lottie-dottie what? Everybody, man. It's a test. It's a trial. Don't let that test or that trial fail you from getting to the kingdom, man. These are minor things that we go through a lot of times in this world, man. When we look back and see, and that's why we got to go and look into Joseph and see some of the afflictions that our forefathers went through. The Bible tells you to remember that. Because they went through way worse affliction than we could be possibly going through right now. She cussed me out. She looked at me funny. He didn't brew me up. He owed me some money. These are minor things that'll keep you from not receiving your crown, man. Then when you get to the pearly gates, you know Israel, man. I used to do it myself. If I get in trouble in school, they send me to the office. First thing I start doing, crocodile tears. And they used to always say, "No, I don't cry." You weren't crying when you was up there messing around, fooling around. So when we get denied, the Most High God things say what? Depart from me, I never knew you. Don't start crying in. It's up for us today to not let brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, children, wives and daughters have dominion over our life, man. Your crown is fitted perfectly for you. Right? Read that again.
Verse 19 from the top. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee, while thou livest.
While you live, man. That means all time. That means throughout your whole entire life, as long as you live, man. You shouldn't let the children, man, you better get your butt in line. Right? I was going into the class last night because you can't save nobody but yourself. You can try your best to put somebody on the right path. But ultimately, this lifetime is for you to get salvation. Right? As long as you live, read. And give not thy goods to another. And don't give your goods to another, man. Right? The values that you have, the talents that the Most High God give you, don't diminish your talents by letting somebody else take them away from you, man. Right? What you got,
I wanted to, because brothers and sisters kind of, especially when class gets started, you know how brothers and sisters kind of trying to get the feel of it. I mean, he really explained it to you what's the gist of the class, man. How your power can be taken away through actions. Like I said, man, if you the best, I'm just throwing out a scenario. You the best spade player. Why would you dumb yourself down just because everybody just else is not on your level?
Right.
Why would you diminish your light just because the Lord gave you the commandments? Why would you diminish your life, man? Or if somebody around you out the spirit, why would you get out the spirit? Because they out the damn spirit. Right? Why we let people draw us in? Because this is what people do. This is the world. The world, darkness tries to pull away from the light the whole time.
That's right.
And it's gonna continue to keep trying to pull away from the light. Why? Because God dang it, you a light. Every time darkness sees light, they like, damn. Think about it, if it's dark outside and it's a flashlight. That flashlight is just going around in its same path. It's not gonna change path. But guess what? To hide that flashlight, you got to cover it up. And that's what darkness try to do, cover up the light. No, don't let nobody cover up your light, man. Keep your flashlight shining through the dark regardless. Right? And that's what brothers and sisters supposed to be getting their mind wrapped around. Man, go ahead.
That's exactly right. Like I said, and your light should always shine through whatever. Right? It shouldn't be diminished because of some person or a situation. And then when we get into the class, you'll see that guess what? That person that was trying to diminish your light, guess what? They gonna have to come right back to you to get that light back that they light was diminished from. See, a lot of times people want to diminish your light because they light already dim. But guess what? The Most High God will make it that they have to come right back to you, man. They'll have to come right back to you. That same person, those same wicked spirits that was trying to deal with you and get you out the spirit, when they see that they won't let you get you out the spirit, guess what they'll say? Damn, I'm about to be more like them then. I guess they are on the right path, right? And we're gonna see that through the class, but read on, huh? And give not thy goods to another, lest it repent. Don't diminish your talents, like I said, man, because somebody else. Man, read. And thou entreat for the same again. And thou entreat for the same again, man, right? Like we said, just a continual thing, right? You fail this test because your mouth, go to it again. You fail the next test because your mouth. You get into a whole nother situation that ain't got nothing to do with your mouth, but you end up failing that test because your mouth, right? We can't let this thing keep entreating us, man. We can't keep doing this thing. Like we say, that's insanity. When you keep doing the same thing over and over, looking for a different result, that is the definition of insanity, man. You're an insane person if you think that you're going to keep failing these tests, but, oh, I'm saved. Oh, I'm getting to my kingdom. Oh, I'm highly favored. Oh, I'm blessed. I think Christians and stuff say that just to hear it, man. Just to try to hear it. But in actual factual, we know in this truth, you got to walk it like you're talking, man. You don't have to walk it like you're talking. Read on.
Verse 20. As long as thou livest, and as breath in thee, give not thyself over to any.
And the Most High God is saying, as long as you got breath, man, don't let nobody take your crown from you, man. Because that's when you see when lights out for little John and little they let somebody take their crown. Their crown was diminishing. That crown was fitted perfectly for their head. But now what pride got their head a little too big, they can't wear the crown now. Right? Secret sins that keep on dibbling, dabbling, and going back to that old man and that old woman. Now pride done make their head a little too big. Now your crown don't fit you. All right, read on.
Verse 21. For better it is that thy children should seek to thee, than that thou shouldest stand to their courtesy.
So the Bible is better for your children to come seek to you. You would rather the nation come see your life and see your talent than for you to dummy it down and say, well, I'm going to be on your level then. They say they favored, highly favored, right? They say they blessed. So I'm just going to go on and do what they do then. Right? A lot of brothers and sisters done left this truth because of that, man. All right? So don't let these things happen, man.
So that's that new phrase people coming out with. I'm gonna match your energy.
Yeah.
No, you ain't got to match everybody's energy, man. Because a lot of times, I also Capt was talking about that on the way to class. Just because somebody, a lot of times, just because somebody, say somebody talking about you, right? Talking about you behind your back, and you find out. If it don't offend you, do you got to go talk to them about it? You don't. If it don't offend me, I don't care. I'm gonna still treat you the same. You don't even know you'll be around me. There's a lot of people talk about me. I know behind my back, and guess what? I'm gonna tell you something. I walk around here like I don't even like I don't know nothing. Like I'm crazy. Come on, man. But it don't mean that I got to address you just because I know about it. Okay, I know about it, but I'm still gonna treat you like a brother because I know what the truth is. I know what light look like. I'm not gonna make myself step into the dark because you in the dark. No, I know what light look like, and I'm gonna stay lit. Right? So don't think that brothers and sisters can't get pulled because they see, guess what? Offense comes to the people that takes offense to what you bothered by. If it don't bother you, you ain't got to, guess what? You ain't got to be offended. You ain't got to be bothered by it, man. Right? Go ahead.
Let's go to Luke chapter 10. For real. Let's go to Luke chapter 10, man. Let's just try to, like you said, get a few precepts to get us in the spiritual aspect of what we're going into today. We may have understanding of this lesson. Try to gain from each precept. Each precept that come out, it should dictate the last precept or should give you more understanding from the last precept, right? So keep the precepts in your mind. Like you said, when you write them down, look at it. Remember what it said, and then just follow and grow from it from the next precept, right? Luke chapter 10, start at verse 17. According to the 70 laborers. Now, well, let's see what they said.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 10, verse 17. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord.
So they returned with joy, right? From doing a well done job. Read on.
Saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.
That's heavy. They said, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us into your name, man. Even the devils are subject to us, man. Now they came back with joy, but this is the understanding that they trying to give. You know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John go into a lot of parables, man, that you have to get understanding from, right? So we need to get understanding from this. Even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. Because what? When your light is shining, guess who right there next to you? The devil. Somebody is done waiting. That John 8:44, the devil try to come immediately. Was that Mark 4:14? The devil try to come immediately and like and take that light, man. Let's get a precept right quick. Holy precept, let's go to Job. We already know Job chapter 1 and 6. Don't let nobody steal your crown as long as you have breath, because they have to steal it, man. The Most High God said that what? He was raising up the wheat and the tares together. They gonna try to pluck you out, man. The tares are trying to pluck the wheat out, man. It's an everyday battle. It's a constant battle. It's an hourly battle. It's a minute battle. It's a second battle. It's a day battle, a month battle, a week battle. Right? You can't never let your guard down, Israel. Read this.
The book of Job, chapter 1, verse 6.
Bring it out.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
We already noticed that it was the day that the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, right? But who else was there? Read.
And Satan came also among them.
And what?
And Satan came also among them.
This is what the 70 is saying, Lord. No, they came with joy, but man, even the devils, man, they're subject to your name, man. Because they can't do nothing without our God's permission, man. So that test that you were going through, that trial that you was going through, that was the Lord stealing, man. We seem to get mad, man. Sometimes we get mad at the test. I just had this test. Well, nigga, you just failed. I just went through this. Well, nigga, go through it again, because evidently you didn't learn that the Most High God was trying to get you to learn. Say, get some more. Right? Nigga, your water just messed up in your house. Well, now, nigga, now your fire messed up in your house. You better get it together, man. Understand the trap, man. Because as soon as you go to present yourself to the Lord, here come what? The devil right behind. We know Sirach chapter 2. When you come and serve the Lord, do what? Prepare your soul for the temptation that's coming. Right? Jump over to chapter 2 and verse 1 of Job. The same thing. You had to reiterate it. I guess you think it's a game. Watch this.
The book of Job, chapter 2, verse 1. Again.
What?
Again.
Again. Because you know, Negroes, we hard-headed. You know this is our book, man. You know it is. Mama told you to clean the room, you still on the game. Again, clean the room. The Lord told you, hey, the sons of God came to present themselves and the devil came again. What is he going to say? Read.
Again. There was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
And what?
And Satan came also among them.
Again. The sons of God come to present themselves before the Lord, and here goes Satan. You're going to have them trials. You're going to have them tests in your life. We got to stop acting like it's something new. We got to stop acting like, oh, man, that just came out of nowhere. No, it's the everyday battle, man. Right? Let's go back to Luke in 10 and 17. You read it when you get there.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 10, verse 17.
Bring it out.
From the top. And the 70 returned again with joy.
Now remember, they had joy in them, man. Right? Read.
Saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name.
Like you said, we're going to have tests, man. The devils, man, they subject to us through your name, man. Right? Read.
Verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Because what does lightning do, man? It strikes, man. To test those spirits, they trying to strike, man. They like serpents. Like a snake, what does it do? It strikes. That's what the devil's trying to do to your life, man. Right? Read on.
Behold, I give you I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions.
You see that? You see that? But the Most High God gave you power. So we can't sit up here and say, woe is me, oh, all this here, because the Lord gave you power. He gave you a door to escape out of every situation. We know this. He said, I gave you power over them, though. So when you do go through that test and you be like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm capable of doing this. The Lord thought you would. Because he said, I gave you power over those to beat it. Every tool that you need to accomplish in this lifestyle and win, the Most High God gave it to you. It's just that you don't want to use the tool. You mean I gotta overcome this sister talking to me with a rusty attitude and I gotta be nice? You mean I still gotta say, no? Even though she talking about forget you and roll her eyes at me? Yes. Yes. Even though this brother owed me money and look at me every day, I gotta be nice to this brother. Yes. Yes, he gave you the tools. Because he said, I gave you power, man. That's what he's telling the 70s. Yeah, the devil is subject to you through my name, but I gave you power over them, man. Read that again, 19.
Verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread unto the what? To tread, man. I gave you power to annihilate those scorpions and serpents, man. To tread, to walk over, to beat, to combat, to win, right? Read. To tread on serpents and scorpions.
Read.
And over all the power of the enemy.
And just in case if you didn't get what I was saying, I gave you power over your enemies, man. He gave us power over our enemies, Israel. We have that power. We just got to use it. We have to use the power that he gave us, right? You got something up?
Let me get a precept right quick. And even like how I was going into it, like I said, this is nothing new. Let's get it from the Old Testament. Let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 11. Because a lot of times Christians always think that these were new concepts. These were never new concepts. The prophets of old always reiterated these things in the Old Testament. The foundation is the Old Testament. That's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters should do what? Read the Old Testament. Read the whole Bible. Go to the book of Numbers, chapter 11 and verse 17. Let's see. The book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 17, starting at verse 16. Numbers, chapter 11, verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel. Read that again. And the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men. So a lot of times when we see these things in the scriptures, these things have spiritual meanings behind it. Read on out. Of the elders of Israel. So even during this time, the Most High God had Moses gather unto him who? 70 men. Read on. Whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people. Whom thou knowest to be the elders, meaning leaders of the people. Read on. And officers over them. Read on. And bring them into the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee in authority with Moses. Read on. And I will come down and talk with thee there, meaning give him the understanding. Read on. And I will talk of the spirit. Read that again. And I will take of the spirit which is upon thee. And will put it upon them. So we see, just like how Christ gave the 70 powers over spirits, where did they get that concept from? That concept came from even in the beginning. The same way Moses' spirit was taken and given to the 70. Read on now. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee. Because a lot of times, even during this time, who was our enemy most times in the Old Testament? Ourselves. It's going to that same concept of giving us power over the enemy. Sometimes we need that. Read on up. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bearest not thyself alone. And that's why it's pivotal that brothers and sisters congregate amongst the people, because you can't do it alone. You're not going to be able to combat spirits on your own. You're not going to be able to check your own spirit lots of the times, because we lie to ourselves all the time. Go ahead,
And that's a great precept that I brought up, because that's another combative idea that the Most High God gave us is what? Come together. A lot of times we want to get into our own little way. Oh, well, I just didn't want to bother you. Bother me. Because guess what? I'm going to bother you. Shoot, I keep telling y'all, when I called King last week at work, he like, text me. You think I ain't gonna text you? I got water everywhere. You don't think you can call? You don't got a key? I don't. Nope. 30 minutes later, I said, I just took off. Yeah, because I need some help. And I appreciate that, brother, like I said, for that, man. But we gotta start bothering each other, man. It ain't about bothering. It ain't a such thing as bothering me. The phone is open. Call it. And that's how we should be as a nation of people. That's a great precept I brought out. That's also showing you that it was in the Old Testament where to get it from, and then showing you exactly what he was saying. I'm giving y'all the same power that I gave them. So we can't sit up here and try to make excuses. Oh, I'm not that strong. Yes, you are. You just don't know you that strong. Well, I can't combat it. Yes, you can. And if you can't combat it, yes, you can. We can't combat it. That's why we go out on the street and who undefeated? We undefeated.
Let's get another precept on it.
Bring it up.
Let's go to Jude 1:19. Going in the same thing what I was talking about, man. Right? You can tell when the brothers and sisters out of the spirit, man, because these things right here comes into play. Jude 1:19. Watch how I read before the sentence even get started, before we come to the point. You get there, let's read.
The book of Jude, chapter 1:19. These be they who separate themselves.
Read that again.
These be they who separate themselves.
So, when the Bible speaks of somebody separating themselves, like a lot of times when somebody don't want, when somebody and they feeling that, guess what they gonna do? The wicked flee. That means you got something on your mind. Right? These that separate themselves, saying, doing what?
Sensual, having not the spirit.
Person in they feeling having not the spirit, man. Right? A person that separates themselves, a sheep that separates themselves from the pack, from the flock. Because the Lord made a sheep. Sheep don't go by themselves. Sheep stay together. So if the sheep stay together, guess what? You separating yourself, having not the spirit, man. Right? You can tell it, guess what? I ain't in my feeling. Yes, you in your feeling. And you got some stuff that you got some stuff going on. I don't care who it is, anybody. Everybody get in their feelings. Guess what? And guess what the first thing they do, they get in their feelings by themselves. Go ahead.
That's right, big comment on it, man. We see the constant things that happen with us, man. We just gotta start learning from it. Because we get into that solo mode, like I said, I just didn't want to bother you, what you should. So that's what the Most High God, like he said, he made a sheep. And I be damn if the sheep gonna go out there by itself. We all over what I'm feeling with, right? Or we gonna go out there to the street corners and it's just gonna be Benaniyah by himself. Shoot, I'm gonna be able to fight them off, but then too, you get like you said, they're gonna jail you. Shoot, I don't have no doubt yet. I'm gonna be able to throw some blows back and forth with them. But then they're gonna try to jail you. Like I said, we go out there, we undefeated. That's right. Let's go back to Luke 10 and 19 again.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, read, and over all the power of the enemy.
And over all the power of the enemy, read.
And nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Man, this stuff ain't supposed to hurt us, man. Nothing by any means shall hurt you. If you in the spirit, if you keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, this stuff's not gonna hurt you, man. When affliction do come your way, you're gonna say, well, I'll praise to the Most High God, right? Because these things are not gonna hurt you because you know that the Most High God is gonna bring those afflictions on you, right? Read on.
Verse 20. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not.
You were saying, don't rejoice in this though. Don't rejoice in this. Don't rejoice in the spirits being able to what? Come with you. Like they said in 17. Even though devils are subject to us through thy name. Don't rejoice in that. But what?
That the spirits are subject unto you.
Don't rejoice that the spirits are subject to you. That the spirits to and fro coming out here to try to take you out of your spirit, right? Read.
But rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
Because that crown was fitted for you. Rejoice that crown was fitted for you. And all you got to do is what? Stay fitted in that crown. Don't rejoice that the spirits are able to come into us, but rejoice that your name is written in the book. And all you have to do is beat this stuff, man. Right? That's what we should be rejoicing. We should be rejoicing in our problems, in our times, man. And like I said, when we say the spirit of Joseph, you'll see Joseph rejoiced, man. Joseph didn't try to get no get back. We're gonna go through all that. They love to say, well, they give back a mug. That's the song they got. They give back a mug, right? No, we ain't playing no get back games. We ain't rendering evil for evil. Railing for railing. She did this, so I'm gonna do it back to her. He cussed me out, I'm gonna cuss him. No, we're not doing that. Right? We just rejoice that our names are written in heaven and we have that crown waiting for us, man. Revelation 3:11. When you get there, you can go and bring it out.
The book of Revelation.
Start at 10.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10.
Bring it out.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
Because you have kept the word of my patience. That's what we got to be. And our tough times and our tribulation, we got to make sure we have patience. That's the first thing you got to do. Because when we do go through hard times, we lose what? The first thing we do is lose what? That's the first thing we do. We get out of our ordinary selves, right? We get out of who we are. Because when you go, I'm going to tell you, it's called having that clutch factor, like Jordan, right? When the game on the line, damn, I'm going to miss the shot. Because there's too much pressure on me. But we got to have that Jordan factor on us. And when we do get into these situations, we got to have that patience. The first thing you got to do is stay in the spirit. That's the patience that he said. Because y'all had patience and kept my word and my patience, read.
I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
You see, you got to be doing something. That's that crown that he said. That's the name's written. But you got to be doing something because you kept the patience of the word. I will keep you from that temptation, man. Our temptation, right? That's heavy. You don't want that, right? You want the Lord to keep you from that hour of temptation. Read.
Which shall come upon all the world.
Some of the world.
All the world.
All the world gonna receive this. Everybody gonna get this judgment, man. Right? Read.
To try them that dwell upon the earth.
To do what?
To try them that dwell upon the earth.
Just being tried, man. Just being tried. That's it. Read on.
Verse 11. Behold, I come quickly.
The Lord said, behold, I come quickly. You're not gonna see it. Therefore, stay in the spirit. Remember the first precept we pulled. So about 33:19, he said what? Always. Don't give them power of your life as long as you live, as long as you have breath. He said, behold, I come quickly. That means you got to always stay in the spirit, right? Read.
Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast.
Hold that fast which thou hast. What is that we need to hold on to? Now, we go back to Torah, that law, statutes, and commandments, man. That doctrine. Hold fast to the doctrine that you receive, man. Right? Don't try to go into these doctrines of devils, like in 1 Timothy 4:1, where they now want to say that all you got to do is pray over the poor, when he never told you it was clean. Oh, I'm just going to go get a divorce, man, because she's talking too much. Right? Hold fast, man. And what?
Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
That what?
That no man take thy crown.
Hold fast to these commandments, Israel, so that no man will take your crown, man. There's somebody out here trying to take your crown. And guess what? They don't even want the damn crown. That's the thing about it, man. Made me mad as hell when they took my Bible and stole my Bible. Because they don't even want it. They don't even want the truth. They don't want the 4-5 years of hard work and dedication I put into this truth to try to get understanding. They don't even want it. They just want to take mine. Some people don't even want your crown. They just don't want you to have it, man. Go ahead, Al.
That thing is heavy because even read verse 11 again.
Verse 11 from the top. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Most High God is giving us a hint on how you can get your crown too. Even like how Ak is bringing out. When brothers and sisters start to go into different doctrines, that's root one of, well, I see this in the scriptures. Ak is like, you have 2 or 3 witnesses with that thing. Well, I see that. You have 2 or 3 witnesses. When you are literally going into different doctrines that are not grounded within the law, statutes, and commandments, that's always an identifying factor to show the first step of brothers and sisters starting to go off.
That's right.
Always, man. Go ahead.
That's exactly right, man. Hold fast which thou hast. Like we said, the Most High God is showing you the way that you can lose your crown. Showing you, right? Jump over to Revelations 2.
Before we leave off there, because that's heavy, getting your crown taken, right? So what do you think getting your crown is taken from you is you separating from your Lord? Right? Take the precept on it.
Bring it up.
Go to Revelation 22 and verse 12. Watch what Christ said. Revelation 22 and 12. Read when you get there, I'll repeat. Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 12. And behold, I come quickly.
So it says, so Christ saying the same thing that he was saying in Revelation chapter 3. He said, behold, I come quickly, right? Read.
And my reward is with me.
So he said, my reward is with me. So that means, guess what? He's walking around with a whole bunch of crowns, man. Right? He said, my reward is with me. So if somebody take your crown from you, that's separating you from Christ, man. From your house, man. So if we walking around getting our crown taken and your house shall say my reward is with me, then how you think your house shall feel about this? Right? You ain't just let somebody else do that, but you made them mad too. So you made your house shall mad. Guess what else you made, man? Guess what else you made mad? The Most High. It's like a chain reaction, man. Right? Because Christ said, my reward is with me. Right? Read it.
And my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be.
So he said, well, guess what? Let him match your energy. This is what Paul was talking about in Romans chapter 12, man. Right? When he's talking about vengeance is mine, man. Right? Let the Lord, guess what, handle that fight, man. Right? That's why he said the reward is with him, man. Go ahead.
Big cut on that, man. That's exactly right, man. Like we said, some people are willing to take your crown from you and they don't even want the crown. That's the thing about it. That's terrible, man. So we definitely don't want to lose our crown and then don't even have nobody else to put it on now. My crown, man. And if it's your crown, then wear it. Wear it, brothers. Wear it, sisters. We're going to jump over to Revelations 2 and 10.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10.
Bring it up.
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
And don't fear the things that we're going to suffer. We know we're going to suffer in this walk, man. In this captivity, man. Don't fear it, right? Read it.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried.
That you may be tried, man. It's going to be a lot of things that happen, man. Jacob's trouble is on the rise, man. If not here now, man. Right? We know we going through it, man. Don't be tripping, man. Right? Read.
And you shall have tribulation 10 days.
Read.
Be thou faithful unto death.
But the Bible said, be thou faithful unto death, man. Wear that crown unto death. Don't take it off. Because basically, if it's your crown, that means you have it on. But like I said, we took it off, guess what? When we stopped going after the commandments of the Most High God. We took it off when they stripped us of our nationality, when they stripped us of our heritage. But the Most High God came and opened our eyes back. So now we put it back on. Only to what? Take it off again? Don't take it off. Because every time you go through these trials and you don't pass them, you're taking it off. All right, read on.
And I will give thee a crown of life.
He said, be faithful unto death, and you will receive that crown, man. That crown of life. That's what we want, man. That's what we're. Ain't that the end game? Ain't that the goal? Is that not our goal, Israel? That's the goal. To receive that crown of life, man. Everlasting life is the goal. If it ain't, some of y'all better start looking for another job. I'm gonna go on and tell you. If your end game result out of this is not the kingdom of heaven, it's not everlasting life. If you're just doing this because it's something new, or because I just want to look good, or I think this something, you might as well go on and do something else, man. Your end game better be that crown of life, man. And when you start thinking like that, and it's when the crown of life is really your end game, we see it on brothers and sisters, man. And guess what? Brothers and sisters see the same thing on us, right? We are our brothers and sisters keeper. When we see the crown of life on you and that you really want it, we can see it. All we can see, well, guess what? You're just going through the motions. This really might not be for you, but you're just doing it because, what, my family here, right? Past time. Find a man or a husband or wife. That's right. My mama made me go. My daddy drugged me in there. Last time I checked, the Lord killed children too, man. Wives, mistress, all that, man.
And that's good why he went into Job. I'm talking about that's good. That's good that he went into Job. Because guess what, man? He killed everything, man. Like I'm talking about at one time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You could drag anybody in. You could try to think you could drag, because guess what? According to Ezekiel chapter 14, guess what? Though Noah, Daniel, and Job was in it, guess what? You can't say nobody but themselves. They can't say their children. Y'all better read that Ezekiel 14, man. And get some understanding. Because guess what? If you think you can take mama or children, guess what? I'm doing this for the kids looking like Bear Kite looking at. Just the Bear Kite favorite line looking at. What you got going looking at? But anyway, if you thinking that you doing this, that your children, guess what, man? Oh man, it's just my son. No, the Lord killed them children too, man. I'm talking about, look, undefeated with death too. He ain't just undefeated with blessing. He undefeated with death. Right? Go ahead.
That's right, big con on that, man. So the Most High God is willing to give us a crown, but we got to be able to be willing to wear it, right? You got to wear it, man. When people come up to you, man, you always got them little tassels and stuff on, man. You're damn right I do it. You should have them on too. Wear the crown. Man, sister, you always got your hair wrapped when you read the Bible. You always got this dress on. That's right. Wear the crown. Wear it. And what you say? And is, and do. And did, and was, and is speaking to. And is always. Right? That's how you got to wear that crown. Most High God want to give it to you. Go to 2 Corinthians 5 and 42. Like I said, this is some open up precepts, man, to get us into this class, man. Because if Joseph then went through it, if our forefathers then went through it, guess what? It's coming right back around us. Right? Because the Most High God did this thing is just like a circle. It's kind of ironic that the Most High God said that what? The world is a circle, right? stars or circles, right? They just ain't no, oh, you writing a little, that's a nice little star you drew. Right? Now, the Most High God put things in circles, man. Read this.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5, verse 42.
Bring it up.
And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring.
So the Most High God judgment is like a ring. We know a ring is a circle. That means it's gonna keep going back and around and around. So when we go into the spirit of Joseph, we'll see that same spirit is gonna be on our brothers and sisters, man, on us today, man. Right? Read.
Like as there is no slackness of the last,
It's like there's no slackness of the last. Read.
even so is no swiftness of the first.
So like you said, the same way that thing happened back then, it's gonna be the same spirits around us today, man. Do anybody know what happened to Joseph, man? Brothers, what happened with Joseph, man? Give me a summary before we go into it. Huh? Falsely accused, what else?
Put in prison.
Put in prison, what else? Sold into slavery, well, sold to some heathens, right? And they wanted to put him in slavery because of the Most High God said, nah, you ain't going no slavery. Like I said, these are all things that happened with Joseph. Remember all these aspects because they gonna come out. Brothers and sisters, what? I mean, not sisters, but brothers did them dirty. Right? Got hated on. Because the Most High God was using them. That same thing is happening today. Brothers and sisters go hate on you today. That brother think he no precept. Oh, that brother that think he this. That's the thing she that. She come here and smiling all the time. Some people looking for take your crown, man. We go jump into that, man. We have a few more precepts to go to James 5 and 10. So the Most High God's judgment is like a ring. This thing is gonna continue to happen, man. Don't think it happened to Joseph and our forefathers. Don't think it ain't gonna come around and spirit on us again, man. Right?
The book of James, chapter 5, verse 10. Take, my brethren, the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example.
For what?
For an example.
For an example of things that will come to pass with us, man. That's why the Most High God said the things are written aforetime was written what? Because you're going to go through the same thing. Jack. Hey, Jack. You're going to go through the same thing, Jack. What you didn't know? You better look into it. That's why Christians don't want to talk about. I should be able to know about the Old Testament by reading the New Testament. That's the dumbest shot. That's dumb. That is dumb. Remember that brother told us that, man? The brother say, I should be able to understand the Old Testament just by reading the New Testament. Stop it, man. Because our patriarchs went in, they didn't give the accounts of the Old Testament, man, the New Testament. You got to go read it exactly what happened to them, man. Right? You got to get an example. Take the prophets and as Lord have mercy, as a example. Whoever back there laughing, cut it out. Counsel after class, laughing. Take it as an example. Read on, huh?
For an example of suffering affliction.
Of suffering, affliction, what else, man?
And of patience.
Didn't the Lord tell you that he was going to come and get them that kept his patience? So you better go in the Old Testament and read and see what that is, man.
And guess what? Man, that's why the Lord said he got he said his reward is with him, man.
That's right. He like, I ain't going without it.
I'm bearing guilt.
I ain't with it.
Right? But that's what our people, just like you said, we read the Bible. That's why when you see, you like, dang man, this brother right here got he going through something like Job. Guess what? This is what we were talking about in Camp 101 with the brothers. If I'm going through similar things, if I say for example, like the sisters, if y'all going through something that y'all read in the Bible, or brothers too, you going through something you read in the Bible, right? Read that story and see how the Lord dealt with them and how they did to get past it.
Right.
That's what if I'm going through say for instance, my lifestyle is going through what Job going through. You think I'm not gonna read Job to see how the Lord did and how Job handled this situation?
Right.
I should read this so I can learn how to handle my situation.
That's right.
That's what it's set up for. It ain't set up for us to be dumb. Guess what? You be Second Peter, dumb asses.
Yeah, you be a dumbass, not looking into it.
You be the dumb ass. Guess what? Not harken to the Bible.
Right. That's right.
Go
That's
ahead.
just like because I always bring up sports because that was something that I used to thought I was good at, right? But you don't practice and go over film and stuff to see how to lose. You practice to go over film to see how to what? How to win. Well, I need to look at this team and see how they won. When the other team brought the press, little bit of now. When the other team brought the press, I need to go look and see how they combated and won the press and won in the press. That's real. Like I just said, I need to go see how Joseph got out of this situation. I need to go see how Isaiah and them came out of these problems and see how they won. So guess what? I can win. That's the same thing I can say. That's right. This your game film though. This Bible is your film. That's your study right there. Go to Sirach 44. We'll start at verse 1. When you get there, you can go and read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 44, verses 1. Bring it out. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that began us.
You see who the famous men that we should be praising? Who are they? That's right. It said, let us praise famous men. Oh, LeBron James, LeBron, Michael, Tiger. Right? It said, praise the famous men that were and our fathers that begat us. The patriarchs, man, of this thing, man. That's who we should be praising, man. Right? Read it.
The Lord has wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning.
Because the Lord showed his glory through our forefathers, man. That's why we got to go and praise them, because he showed us the way. He gave us the game plan through our forefathers, right? Read it.
Such as did bear rule in their kingdom.
Such as did bear rule, because we had what, David, right? We had Solomon, right? We had the greatest, man, right? Read it.
Men renowned for their power.
Men that were renowned for their power, man. You know, we had, man, David that was killing what, 365 men with only lost 20, right? We had men of great power, man. What, Benaniyah flew to what, lion-like men, right? We had powerful brothers, man. Read.
Men renowned for their power.
Read.
Giving counsel by their understanding.
Giving what?
Giving counsel by their understanding.
That's what it's about, the counsel that they was giving us by their understanding, going into the same thing me I could just see. The counsel of their understanding is reading and see what they went through and how they combated those situations. That's their counsel of understanding. Read.
And declaring prophecy.
And doing what?
And declaring prophecy.
That's heavy, man. Declaring the end game of this thing, man. That's why it's so people that we give honor and glory to our forefathers, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsel.
Leaders of the people by their acts, by their counsel, man. Right? Not just leaders, but by their counsel, by their actions. Read.
And by their knowledge of learning, meant for the people, wise and eloquent in their instruction.
Because we can learn something from our forefathers. That's why they are leaders. We're able to learn from them, man. We're able to now not make mistakes that they made. Read them.
Such as found out musical tunes, and rejected verses and write
Like the song, man.
Read it again, recite it.
Oh, mine says rejected. So like,
They do? Yeah. Well, you know, that's 1611, man. Yeah, we got to reject. Give me that to read. Read that again, recite it.
such as found out musical tunes and recited verses and writing.
And recited verses and writers like the song, man, right?
Who is,
Go ahead.
who is this going into? Do any brother know?
David.
Who?
King David.
You put King David, but going into. Say it
Asaph.
again.
Asaph.
Say it again.
Asaph.
Asaph. So it's finna go down a list. I'm gonna see what brothers and sisters know who it's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Asaph. A-S-A-P-H. A-S-A-P-H.
ASAP. That's right. Read verse 6.
Verse 6, rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations.
Rich men, rich in what? In having the commandments, man. In having what? That crown, right? Of being of the chosen lineage, man. That's rich, right? And also, we were rich at that time as well, though, right? We were rich in our what? Our livestock, our cattle. We were rich. Read on.
Verse 7, all these were honored in their generation, and were the glory of their time.
They were the glory of their time. Guess what? They was the glory of the old time, but now, who the glory of the day? Oh, Michael Jackson. Oh, man. Prince. Oh, what? Tupac. But they was the glory back in their time. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Asaph, David, Solomon. They was the lick back then. We weren't talking about Michael Jackson and back then. We were talking about them. But now we done changed it. You see? Because back then they was all they were talking about. Man, the glory of David, man. The wisdom of Solomon, man. Dang.
And that's one that y'all can put on verse 6 as an example. Solomon. Because we know that the Most High God gave him all riches and gave him what? Peace. Right. On all sides. And it clears it up later on in the chapter.
They come. It said all these were honored in their generations, man, and were the glory of their time, man. That's what we was talking about back then, man. We got to start back talking about these famous men. Remember, the first verse says what? Let us praise famous men. Let us keep these men in our mouths, man. Let us keep these women as well, man. These sisters, man, they brought great works in our mouths, man. Right? What you got, huh? Read on.
Verse 8, there be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praises might be reported.
See that? They left the name behind them that their praises might be reported, man. They left what? They left them breadcrumbs for you to follow. Right? Pick it up. Oh man, pick up off where they left off. Remember, back in the day, it was only rightful that our forefathers charged what? Their sons to do the same exact thing. We ain't charging our sons to do number what? Do the exact same thing we doing today. Walk around with your little diaper showing half off your butt. Right? We showing our drawers, little 2-year-old baby showing his diaper. Tagging in his little clothes, right? We out here on the street corners, we got red and blue flags. Little baby got on red and blue flags, man. Seen that thing the other day, the girls, little 4-5-year-old girls out here singing these old ratchet songs, man. And the mamas in there just, hey, girl, look at they so cute. We teaching them that, man, instead of teaching them what? The business of our forefathers, man, right? We don't.
Verse 9, and some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they had never been.
It's some that has no memorial and perish, man. Well, guess what? They deserve credit too, man. His names is not written in this Bible, the brothers and sisters that was doing the exact same thing, man. Right? That's going to us. You might not be a captain, you might not be so, you might not be what you still can push this truth and do what is needed for the nation, man.
And those people that it's going into, think about when Joshua and Caleb led the children of Israel after Moses died. They wasn't by themselves when they went to the promised land, man.
Right.
They weren't the only 2 people. It was people that was with them. They got the name because what Ak is breaking down. They was on the forefront and their names was renowned through Israel. But it was people that was keeping the commandment just as long as with them. And guess what? they glory stand right now to this day too, man.
Right.
So when you speak about the children of Israel, that's what they look back as a nation. We ain't just looking back as a one person. We looking back as a nation, people that kept the commandments.
That's right, man.
Go ahead.
Big con on that, man. Right? You know, you always see the captain this and the officer this and this and that, but guess what? Man, y'all doing great works as well too, man. As if not more than us, man. Come on, man, stop it. We're a damn fool to say that, man.
Why you think is we try to get sisters in the right spirit and brothers in the right spirit? So guess what? We tell them to step up, do some work. Guess what? It's stuff that can be done. A lot of times, guess what? People got, that's the reason, that's why the Bible talk about hiding talents, right? Because it's so much that needs to be done in a nation. You ain't got to get recognition by a man. You ain't got to be getting recognition by the women. The Lord see your work, man.
That's right.
Right? You, like the ox said, I'm trying to tighten my crown up a little bit more so you can't pull it off.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, just like Cornelius. Cornelius was doing great work, so the Lord said it's time. Your arms and your work has come for a memorial. Ain't nobody else got to see it and give you praise. The Most High God gonna give you the praise, man. Read 9 again.
Verse 9 from the top. And some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born.
Read.
And their children after them.
Read verse 10.
But these were merciful men.
Like I said, but these were merciful men, man, right? Those that don't get the credit and don't get the recognition, right? These were merciful men, read,
whose righteousness have not been forgotten.
we don't want to forget that. Read on.
With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant.
That's right, because these were merciful brothers and sisters, man. They kept the charge as well, man, right? And now that seed is on to the next seed, and guess what? That seed comes from what? Maybe you, and maybe even you today, right? Maybe even me. You don't know. Read on.
Their seed stands fast, and their children for their sake.
For whose sake?
For their sake.
For their sakes. Read.
Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out.
So we want to make sure that we keep praising these brothers and sisters in our mouth, because it said their seed will remain forever. Man. And damn it, that's what we got to do. Have their seed remaining forever. Read.
Verse 14. Their bodies are buried in peace, but their name liveth forevermore.
But the name lives forevermore, yet they are gone. Their name is still ringing, man.
What do you think this going? This goes into the children of Israel, man. Look at how it reads. Guess what? You might not hear that specific name right there, but guess what? They're part of a nation of people that stand for the Lord, man. Just think about when they said that when they were running through the caves trying to keep the Sabbath day. That was a group of people. They didn't name all the people that ran to keep the Sabbath day. But guess what? They named the group that was trying to keep the Sabbath day. They literally named it's a group of people. Do anybody know their name? No, we don't know their name. But guess what? We read the story, and this is how we make their names live. We go back and we read the story, and we see how much work they put in just to keep their Sabbath.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
We're con on that. Read on. You got something?
Yeah, that's why you have Romans chapter 11, how the Most High God won't cast Israel away. You got Galatians 3 and 16 on how those seeds was given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Precepts like those are showing you that guess what? Our name is not blotted out if you keep the commandments.
Right, big con on that, man. Romans 11:1 on down. That's great. Put right there. What we at, 14?
15.
15.
Verse 15. The people will tell of their wisdom.
Read on.
And the congregation will show forth their praise.
We go tell forth of their wisdom, man. Today, let's tell forth of Joseph, man. Let's tell forth of the wisdom of our brother, the patriarch Joseph. Let's go to Genesis chapter 49. Brother who kept that crown, man. Kept that crown tight. Let's start at 49 and 22. And then we'll get into it. The summary of our brother Joseph right here, man.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 22.
Read.
Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well.
Read.
Whose branches run over the wall.
Whose branches run over the wall, man. It said Joseph was a fruitful bow, man. Right? Because who do we get out of Joseph, man, the 12 tribes? Ephraim and Manasseh, right? Whose branches will run over the wall, right?
Hey, my mind be sidebar. They said the northern tribe branch is gonna literally run over the wall. Well, what do you think the Issachar literally do? That's crazy, man.
That's right, man.
They literally run over the wall, man.
That's right.
What is fruitful going into, brothers?
Work.
Huh? To an extent, but
There'll be a lot of.
it's gonna be a lot of. They have a lot of kids. Issachar have a lot of kids. Puerto Ricans have a lot of kids.
Say it.
It's going into Ephraim, but the northern tribe as a whole, all of them have lots of kids.
They do. They come on them. That's what
That's
they
the
were
characteristic of them.
They come. That's right. No, they be having them children, man. They start young and they get it going. Man. For real, they get it going, man. That's the scriptures, man. That's why we gotta look into them, right? Read on. 23.
Verse 23. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him.
The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him, man. These things, you gotta understand what's going into it, man. Because guess what? Who were those archers at that time? His people also going into who? Who took the northern kingdom to captivity?
Well, it's about
The Syrians, man. I know it. The Syrians, man. They was gonna be shooting at them, meaning they was gonna what? Go into this. Everything you gotta take for spiritual value. You understand? They were shooting at them, man. Guess what? How will you shoot at them? Bringing in their what? Their ways.
That's right. You also have to have what else with it? Spiritual and another aspect you must have to understand this history. You have to have an overall understanding of world history, even like how I was breaking it down. Even during this time, during the Assyrian captivity, but also going into the time of when Esau came and conquered them.
That's right.
Took over Puerto Rico, Christopher killing Columbus. Brothers and sisters have to learn that history in order to put the full puzzle together. Go ahead, huh?
They come. Read on.
Verse 24. But his bow abode in strength.
But his bow abode in strength. And read.
And the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel.
And going into what, like we said, and it's understanding prophecy. That guess what? They were still gonna be strong and what? Come back into this fold, man, right? Read on.
Verse 25. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lie under, blessings of the breast and of the womb.
You see that? Blessings of the breast and the womb, man. Just like I said, they are a fruitful nation, man. The northern kingdom is a fruitful nation of people, man. So he said, even though that they were going to be going into captivity and taking over, they were still going to be fruitful and give them the blessings. And that's what they have right now. We're trying to bring it out of them too. Bring them back to the knowledge of who they are. Read.
The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hill.
Read on.
They shall be on the head of Joseph.
They should be what?
They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brother.
You see that? And on the crown of him that was separate from his brother, man. This is basically giving you a summary, a rundown of what's about to befall, what's going to befall Joseph. And we're going to read into it and see, man. Because even though Joseph was went into his brothers tried to do that to him, he still was found out to be great and to be that leader that he guess what? Told him that he was going to be and through his dreams. So the Lord said he was still going to give them blessing. Let's go to Acts chapter 7. You can stay in Acts, we're going to be precepting from Acts. going back and forth in Genesis. But Stephanie give us a rundown of this too, man. Telling you the history, man, is great, man. I don't know why they don't want to go into the Old Testament and get the understanding of it, man. How in the hell is Christians going to understand what Stephen's talking about if they don't read the Old Testament? Go to Acts chapter 7. And so we'll start at 9. Let's start at 7. Get some understanding.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 7. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage, I judge, said God. And after that shall they come forth and shall serve me in this place.
Read.
And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begat Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day. And Isaac begat Jacob. And Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs.
And Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. So now Stephanie's giving a rundown from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob having what? The 12 patriarchs. What is the patriarch going to?
Israel.
I like that. Give me a little more.
Like the next up, like set the place for the next. Make it simple.
Just make it plain. I feel you. I like the word. I like the predecessor, but make it simple.
Patriarch.
Make it plain. What is a patriarch?
What's a matriarch? Say it again.
So what is a patriarch? The fathers. The fathers, the 12, okay. Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. Who are they? The 12 fathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's right. That's right. That's where this thing jumped off. So the 12 patriarchs are going into the fathers of the 12 tribes, right? Read verse 9.
Verse 9. And the patriarchs moved with envy.
But they moved with envy. Read.
Sold Joseph into Egypt.
And sold Joseph into Egypt. Hold on right there. Let's go to Genesis, man. Like I said, hold the precepts. We're going to go back and forth with that. Let's go to Genesis 37. But the patriarch moved with envy. His brothers moved with envy and end up selling him to Egypt. Let's read Genesis 37 and start at 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 1.
Bring it up.
And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan.
In the land of Canaan, right? Read.
These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 70 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren.
So Joseph was feeding the flock with his brethren, right? Read.
And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives.
So who were the sons of Bilhah? Because how many mothers were there?
4.
4. Who was it? Rachel, Leah.
Which are who?
We just read it. Bilhah and who else? And Zilpah. Jump over to 35 and 25 right there. Let's show you exactly who the sons of Bilhah is.
The book of Genesis, chapter 35, verse 25. And the sons of Bilhah.
Who was who?
Rachel's handmaid.
So Bilhah's sons, who were Rachel's handmaid, were who?
Dan and Naphtali.
Dan and Naphtali. You see that? Now he said he was in the field with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah. Go back to 35 and read 26. See who the sons of Zilpah were.
Verse 26. And the sons of Zilpah. Leah's handmaid.
Which was Leah's handmaid, right? Read.
Gad and
Asher, right? Read on.
These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Padan Aram.
So when you see that Joseph was in the field with his brethren. He was with the brothers. He was with who? The sons of Zilpah and the sons of Bilhah. You see that? Just to give you some understanding of the history. So when you can put 35 and 25 for Bilhah and 35 and 26 for Zilpah. These were their sons. These are who the handmaids had, right?
And to help you take your notes better, right beside the name, put the 35-25. Right? Beside the Zilpah name, 35-26.
That's right. That's what I did. That's what I did. That's right. So you see that he was in the field with the sons of Bilhah and with Zilpah. And like I said, it's just understanding that you got to have in the history, right? Because this is the best history. This is where we were created. This is where we come from, right? Read 2 again.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 2 from the top. These are the generations of Jacob, being 17 years old.
Joseph, being 17 years old, read.
Was feeding the flock with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah. And with the sons of Zilpah.
Read.
His father's wives.
Read on.
And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report.
You see that? That started it off right there. What did Joseph do?
He's back and told.
Did he snitch?
Yep.
Or was he keeping the law? Because what's the law? Somebody give me the damn law. Damn snitch. He snitched with his snitching ass. I knew somebody would say it too. Did he snitch or did he keep the law? He was keeping the law. Joseph was in favor with the Lord because he was doing the law.
That's right.
He went and told the Hebrew report of his brothers. I'm gonna tell you, and I done did the same thing. I know, like, hey, boy, when I was mad, I went and told on my brother, man. Mama, he out there doing this, and he did this the other day too. That's us. That's just us. Nah, if you see something, the law says what you gotta tell it, man.
They don't think the other nation, they gonna tell on your ass too.
They gonna tell on you.
Hey, Esau gonna tell every damn thing you do.
And they ain't keeping no law behind.
You run up on police, they ain't go right there. Want your ass out.
Say, man, I know this ain't got nothing. I'm watching Cops last night, y'all. Give me this real quick, man. They pulled over about 5 people that got caught with methamphetamines in their possession. Like 2 of them was found doing it at the time that they were pulled over. Do you know none of them went to jail? Now one of them went to jail, man. This is old Cops. I'm in the damn bed. I ain't go to work last night. I'm in the bed like, this is a crazy stuff. Many times I got pulled over back in my day for having this little .5. They don't methamphetamine, man. I was doing it in the act. Just to show you how that privilege, man. I'm just saying, I just had to tell you out there, man, that's crazy. I ain't lying. I was mad, man. I was mad. I was upset. My wife looked at this, I'm like, get the hell, they got stopped up there. Oh, they got meth, they ain't going to jail. I'm gonna let you go this time. You told me you want to help your church. Dude, high as hell. He still don't look, he just high. Yeah, man, my children, man. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go because of church. I'm upset, man. But let's get back to it. She like it, man. Let's get back to Genesis 37. Read 3, man. The book of Genesis. So he brought an evil report. That started right there, right? He told me he was doing what the Most High God commanded him to do, man. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children.
He loved Joseph. God, shoot, he out here telling me what's going on, right? He was the son of his old age. Read on.
Because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a coat of many colors.
A coat of many colors. What is that going into, Ehud? I see you looking.
Jeremiah 12:9.
But tell me.
A speckled bird.
What does the coat of many colors mean? What is it going into?
Break it down.
Yeah, for real. That's a great precept. We're going there. We're gonna go there.
Well, it was going into Ephraim. It's like a pretense into Ephraim, but the speckled bird was How do we break down the speckled bird?
That's what I'm saying. Break it down.
Help him out, Fred. Yeah, I said help him out, Fred.
When they dealt with other nations, how did they come out?
Like the shade of turns to different shades.
That's right.
So the coat of many colors is going into what?
Different nations.
Ephraim was the northern kingdom was gonna do what?
Not different dates.
No, stay with the point. Mixed with other nations, so they came out looking what?
White.
Diverse.
That's right. Now, listen, who said that, man?
Different colors.
What you say? What twin say?
It's somebody that came out white.
No, man. Meaning that they were gonna mix with the other nations, man.
That's right.
This is showing you that the northern kingdom is gonna go into what? Go off. Yeah, you good. It's all good. That's your brother. You said it too. So let's go into Jeremiah 12:9. Let's get a precept on this color, coat of many colors.
Remember, even when we go over these things, brothers have to try to retain what you have learned previously and literally put it all together. If
So-
you have to go back into the videos or what, because we always say that was one of the main sins of Ephraim is that they would mix with the other nations and they did what? What was the other sin that
Idolatry. That's
I
right.
have to remember those 2 points.
So way back in Genesis, the Lord is showing you that what Ephraim was gonna what? Mix with the other nations and go off in idolatry, right? Jeremiah 12:9. Stay with us, family. Brothers.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her.
The birds that are round about are against her, right? Going into what? The Syrian captivity. They were against our people, right? But they were mixing with them. Read.
Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour.
Come to what?
Come to devour.
And that's what they came to do, to devour the northern kingdom. Let's get another precept. Let's go to Hosea 7.
A speckled bird comes in what? Many what? Many colors. You got Ephraim from a very light to a very dark. We have thick nose. We have thin lips. They have woolly hair, straight hair. That's going into the diverse features that they have.
That's right.
Like a peacock.
Like a peacock. Thank
Something
you.
like that. Thank you, brother. They got what? Straight noses, like I said. Yeah, someone got the old Michael Jackson nose, right?
Because I'm gonna tell you, if you see a picture of me and my brothers and me and my brothers and sisters get in one picture, we can see a little bit, but we don't all look alike like that. I'm talking about some of us got really, really nappy hair, some of us bald head, right? Some of us, guess what? All brothers and sisters don't look alike. And for even they the same parents,
That's right.
and don't look, all of us don't look alike. Right, so you can't. Guess what? But with the northern tribe, guess what? Them mixing, they damn sure really want to look like. So,
Right.
man, this makes all the sense. Go ahead.
Hosea chapter 7, verse 8.
The book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8. Ephraim, he had mixed himself among the people.
Read.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
So you see that Ephraim has mixed himself among the people, right? Going into what they were dealing with the other nations, man. Mixing in with other nations. It said Ephraim is a cake not turned. Because we ask that question all the time. The cake on the top, if you cook it right, we say that. If you don't overcook it, the cake at the top will be what? A lighter brown, right? On the bottom, it's going to be a what? A darker brown, right? So you see the understanding that the Most High God was giving them. That Ephraim was going to come, the northern kingdom was going to come in different shades. Because guess what? It's some northern kingdoms down there in South America, boy, that's way darker than us. Colombians, and some Colombians that's light skinned, it's some that's dark skinned. It's some Puerto Ricans that's very high, and it's some that's dark. Showing you that Ephraim was going to be mixed, right? So y'all make sure y'all put them precepts there for that coat of many colors. Let's go back to Genesis 37 and read verse 3 again.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. And he made him a coat of many colors.
Read on.
And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren,
What did they do?
they hated him
And what?
and could not speak peaceably unto him.
So you see that when somebody see the Most High God dealing with you more than they dealing with them, they gonna try to hate you. They're gonna try to take your crown. Not for them to worry, just for you not to worry, damn it. Every time we have more precepts, she put her hand on like she knows. Every time they ask for this, brother, just go on and burn it out. When they see the Lord is dealing with you, man, they're gonna hate you, man. You see that? That's what they did to Joseph, man. When they seen that his father loved him more than all his children, they hated him, man. But he loved him because what? He was doing what he was commanded to do. He came back and showed the evil report of Gad and them. They are messing up, father. Right?
I would say envy, covetousness, those are, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, those are some wicked, powerful spirits.
That's exactly. Here comes this all. Well, here comes this all.
Them things is wicked as hell, man.
It is.
And them things can jump on brothers and sisters, can have you doing what? Adding sin to sin, man.
Mhm.
Because you want what another person has.
That's right.
Whether it be spiritually or physically or monetarily. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go. Let's keep reading, man.
Verse 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brother. And they hated him yet the more.
Read on.
And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheep arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheep stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheep. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words.
So you see, they hated him even more, man, for the dreams that the Most High God was using through him, man. Like I said, when the Most High God uses you, they're going to hate you for that, man. They're not going to like you for that. Yeah, Christians, he can tell me all the time, man, like, I ain't got time, man. You're a Christian, you don't want to talk about the Bible? I know my partner, man, always used to read us the Bible before we went to school. And he was always telling me, man, you can't touch Aunt Barbara. I said, boy, please. Let boy go Aunt Barbara house and shut her down. You know, talking big. I go there and cut Aunt Barbara up, man. Stop playing. One day, Aunt Barbara walked by my house. And me and Aunt Barbara started talking. She like, I gotta go. You gotta go, man, right? Yeah, because you see, I got time today. You see, I ain't playing, Aunt Barbara. I ain't playing. I'm not playing about it. But we can see who is. You don't. But your nephew told me that Aunt Barbara was gonna come back with you. It's a lie. So you know when the Lord is using you, man, they don't like this. They'll take your crown. Let's go back to Acts chapter 7 and read verse 9 again. Read verse 9 again.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
And the patriarchs moved with envy,
Read.
sold Joseph into Egypt.
So they moved with envy. Let's get some more envy that they had. Let's go to Genesis 37 and 18. Because ultimately, this pushed them to want to kill him, man. Genesis 37 and 18.
The book of Genesis, chapter 37, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him.
So Jacob sent Joseph with his brethren, right? To go help his brethren in the field. So when they saw Joseph coming from afar, they conspired to slay their brother, man. This is their brother. These are the 12 patriarchs of Israel. Conspired together to slay their little brother, baby brother, right? Read on.
Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit.
Hold on, read 19 again, because that's exactly what me and Jerubbaal was just saying.
And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh.
Come this old dreamer. Come this dreamer. No, here come this old telling me. Daddy sent this old dreamer. Man, right? That's just what they do, man. That's how we do. Somebody dealing with a brother or sister. Here come this old precept. Think he precept king. Oh, what's up, precept king? What's up? Uh-huh. Yeah, you know, this is what we do. Right? That's what we do, man. Jacob sent Joseph out there with his brother. Here come this dreamer. Here he comes. Right? Read on. Verse 20.
Verse 20. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say, some evil beast have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dream.
Man, that's dirty, man. We're gonna see if this nigga gonna be able to dream after this. After this shit. Yeah. We're gonna slay this little nigga. And let's see if he gonna be able to dream after that. They was upset about the Lord using him, man. After he told in the dream, oh man, they was already mad because their daddy loved him. But now that he's a dreamer of dreams, he told us that we gonna be really, he gonna be ruling over us. Oh man, we gonna slay this nigga. That's what people would try to do. They would try to take your crown. Let's get some precepts on that. Let's go to Matthew 10 and 21 now. Because this is his own brethren, man. Your own brothers and sisters will do that to you, man. We brothers and sisters, your family, you gotta watch out for family. Those that ain't family, all that, man. Like I said back in the day, our biggest enemy was us, right? Within ourselves. Still is. Go to Matthew 10 and what did I say, 21? You get there, bring it out.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 10, verse 21.
Bring it out.
And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. And the father, the child. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death.
You see what Christ was saying was gonna happen? This happened back in the day. Forgive me. Christ said, hey man, the same thing gonna happen again. And brother shall deliver up the brother to death, man. These same things are gonna happen. These same things are gonna try to take you from receiving your crown, man. Brother gonna try to lift up brother to death, man. People gonna act like they care about the movement, only to what? Take you out. We know this. People gonna care about, actually think about, they care about you, only to get close to you to infiltrate you, man. We see this.
What's another precept brothers would go to? Remember the context.
What we talking about? Brother shall lift up brother to death, man.
You talking about what? Hey, brother, gotta be in that spirit, man.
19 chapter.
That's how to combat it.
Not a precept going into what?
Right.
Into. Remember the subject matter is what? What's the subject matter, Brother Bilal?
Brother against brother.
Meaning what? Enemies of your own household. What you got, Ehud?
Matthew 10, 35 and 36.
Yeah, that's a good precept.
I was gonna pull that one, but I wanted to pull this one
That's right.
to see if y'all would go ahead. That's exactly what we do that for.
Micah chapter 7, verse 6.
Luke 21, 16. Mark 13 and 12.
You know, precept that containing that. Let's get that. Micah, Micah chapter 7, verse 6.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Is it? get there, read that out.
Book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
For the son dishonors the father. The daughter rises up against her mother.
Yep.
The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So we see these things even in these last days. You see families at odds with the children, children at odds with the family, husband and wife at odds with one another. Even like I brought out in 2 Ezra chapter 5, these are judgments that go around and come right back around. Read on. A man's enemy. A man's who? A man's enemy. Read on now. Are the men of his own house.
A man's enemy are those of his own house. Meaning you're gonna have to deal with those spirits first.
That's right.
Brothers, if you get those things in line, then you'll be better equipped to deal with spirits on outside of your house. But a lot of times, brother, it starts with brothers and sisters dealing with the spirits that they have in their own house. Go ahead.
That's right. That's exactly what they had. They had the spirit in their own house, their own brothers, man. That's right. Let's go to Psalm 41 and 5. Let's get another precept on it. $41. Start at 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 41, verse 5.
Bring it out.
Mine enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die and his name perish?
That's exactly what the brothers were saying. When we gonna kill him? When he gonna die? When his dream is gonna perish? Right? Because if we kill this Negro, he ain't gonna be able to dream another dream. Right? Not a damn another. When is my enemy gonna die? And when is his dream? When he gonna stop these damn dreams? There's a reason behind it. They don't want you to get that crown because of something that you're doing that's better than them. They doing something wrong, you doing something right, and then they want you to do something wrong with them. If I can't have a crown, you can't either. Right? That's exactly what they want. Let's go to okay, read up.
Verse 6.
Oh, I said, yeah, I want 5 through 9. I'm tripping. My bad. Read on, read the 9.
Okay, verse 6. And if he come to see me, he speaketh vanity. His heart gathereth iniquity to itself. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it.
Hey, that's what they did, man. When he goeth abroad, he telleth it, man. Talking all vanity, right? Can't stand this nigga. They here come the dreamer when he was there. Before they see him, yeah, this dream. Right? Read on.
Verse 7. All that hate me whisper together against me.
What do they do?
Whisper together against
the brethren, all whisper together against him, man. You see that? Going into the same thing, man. Read on.
And against me do they devise my hurt.
And they devised to slay him, to hurt him, man. Think about it. What they say, man, when he come, we go kill him. We go put his coat in some blood and say that a damn animal devoured him. That's what they did.
Man, that would be what today? What, premeditated murder, man?
That's premeditated, what?
They literally thought that thing through, man. I was gonna execute that thing.
Well, they was gonna execute. One for Reuben having a greater idea for them. But all this is going through the spirit of the Most High God. See, they don't understand it. But the Lord using them even to this right now when they doing this. Even when they conspiring to kill their brother, the Lord is using them. That's what we don't understand. Even though you're going through something, man, you don't know that the Lord is using you in that time, man. And you don't see or understand it. But it ain't for you to understand or see, just go through it. The potter and the clay. It ain't for you to understand it. It's you the clay. I got it because I understand it. I'm the potter. know what trial is gonna help you. I know what tribulation is gonna help you. You don't. You don't see it, right? But read on.
Verse 8, an evil disease, say they, cleaveth fast unto him. And now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, my own familiar friend.
My who?
My familiar friend.
That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a familiar face to you that's gonna try to get you out of this thing, man. Mama, daddy, sister, in this case, brothers, children. It's gonna be a familiar face, man.
And you see verse 8, read that again now.
Verse 8, an evil disease, say they.
So that's they conspiring, man, against somebody. They say, well, it's an evil disease. No. Or they in the case of Joseph, they said, no, it's a beast who's supposed to eat him up, man. Right? Read.
Say they, cleaveth fast unto him.
Right? Just to make a point up, read.
And now that he lieth, he shall rise up no more.
They say, so guess what? An evil disease got him, so he can't rise up no more. But in the case of Joseph, they said the beast got him, so he can't rise up again.
Right.
Right? Going into the same thing. Go ahead.
Put the pieces to the puzzle, man. Read on. Read verse 9 again.
Verse 9, yea, my own familiar friend.
My own familiar friend. In this case, my own brothers. Read.
In whom I trusted.
In whom I what?
In whom I
But
trusted.
you put trust in these people sometimes, man.
He's supposed to be brother.
And they'll let you down. That's why you put your trust in who?
Lord.
The Most High God, man. That's when you put your trust in. Because man will let you down every time. Read.
In whom I trusted,
Uh-huh.
which did eat of my bread.
We ate together. We sat at the table together. We the 12 patriarchs. Read.
Had lifted up his heel against me.
He lifted up their heel against him, man. But you know what? That hatred brought forth lust. And that lust brought forth what? They didn't even want to put their brother to death, man. That's what it do, man. Let's go to James. Man.
Real quick, brother Uriah, in verse 9, who is that talking about? In prophecy. I literally just gave y'all a hint.
Uriah?
God, dang
My
it.
friend.
But every time you call, you can't answer.
I said, Uriah.
Judas Iscariot. These are prophecies that David was giving. Brother Jose, you paying attention? Because I'm going to ask you.
Because guess what? When they know the answer, well, their attention span be right on. Yeah. But when you don't know the answer, now everybody does down in your book.
Y'all make sure y'all put that Judas Iscariot, John 13 and 18.
Man, we need to keep us a boomerang up here so we can slang that bug and come on back, man.
Say it again.
Yeah. Yes. Judas Iscariot. So you see, that's what all happened. That hatred stirred up what? The strife with them that now have lust into killing their brother. It all was a trickle down effect, man. Let's go to that James 1 and 13.
The book of James, chapter 1, verse 13.
Bring it out.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
They were drawn away from their own lust. That was them drawn away from their own lust. Hatred. Read.
And enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it brings forth sin.
So the first thing they did was they were lusting and they brought forth sin. Now they hating on their brother, right? Now they consider murderers. But now they consider murderers and that sin will bring forth what though? Read.
And sin, when it is finished, bring it forth death.
Read on.
Do not err, my beloved brothers.
See, the Most High God telling you, don't fall into the same category that they fell into, man. Don't go into hating your brother or your sister so much that sin will bring forth even the next step, man. Because when you hate your brother and sister, you already a murderer in your heart right there. All right? Bring it up.
Let's go to Sirach chapter 27 right quick. Start at verse 28. Verse 28. Because this going into the same thing what we read, especially going into the storyline of what we read, right? Read it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 28. Mockery and reproach are from the proud.
So mockery and reproach is from the proud, because that's what they had in their heart right there, a proud heart, right? Guess what? But Jacob, but guess what? They father knew, guess what? That Joseph was gonna keep the commandments, man. Right? Go read it.
Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them.
Right? So, but he said, but vengeance gonna lie in wait for the people that's trying to do you like that, man. But read.
They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare.
So why? That's why you think they went into whatever. Well, I'm going into the breakdown, but watch this. Read.
And anguish shall consume them before they die.
And anguish gonna consume them, right? Well, verse 30, the point.
Verse 30, malice and wrath, even these are abominations.
So the Lord said malice and wrath is an abomination. So if anybody take wrath into their hand, that's an abomination. You take malice into your hand, that's an abomination, right? Read.
And a sinful man shall have them
The
both.
Lord said a simple man gonna have both of these things on them, man. You wanna do malice towards somebody, guess what? And you wanna bring wrath. That's what a simple man would do, man. That's what, guess what? So that means all the rest of the tribes was simple against Joseph, man.
That's right. And that's heavy. It said, in anguish shall consume them before they die. Man, when we get to the end of this lesson, you're gonna see how the brothers, that anguish was on them now, man. How they was thinking how bad they did their brother. Was it gonna come back on them? Joseph, now he a leader in Egypt. Is he gonna try to do something to them now? Anguish gonna be on them, right? But let's go back to so you see all this happen, man, with the brothers, man. And if it can happen to the 12 patriarchs, you know it can happen with us. Go back to Acts 7 and read verse 9 again.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 9. And the patriarchs moved with envy. So Joseph into Egypt.
So you see how they moved with envy. They wanted to kill him, right? But they went on and sold him into Egypt, and we're gonna read that. But what?
But God was with him.
But what?
But God was with him.
But God was with Joseph, man. That's the point that we got to make sure that we are in the spirit. Because if you stay in the spirit, no matter what happens, the Most High God is still going to be with you. Right? The husband and wife arguing, if you stay in the spirit, God will still be with you. Right? Joseph was still in the spirit, and the Lord was with Joseph. Let's go to Isaiah 41 and 10. Let's get some on that, and God was with them. How does God be with you? Go to Isaiah 41 and 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10.
Bring it out.
Fear thou not, for I am with thee.
Don't have fear, man, when you come across these trials and these tests. That's the first way to keep God with you. Is don't have fear, right? And whatever it is, don't have fear in it. Read.
Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
So the way to keep God with you is to have faith in his action, which is the laws, statutes, and commandments. If you keep those laws on you, even though things are not going well, man, the Lord will be with you, man. That's how it was with Joseph. It said they sold him to the Egyptians. They had envy on them. It said, but God was with him. That's the heaviest part. Through everything that Joseph went through, his brothers trying to conspire to kill him, end up selling him to the Egyptians. God was with him. You still got to keep the faith, man. So the Most High God can be with you, man. Let's read verse 10, man. Acts 17. So anyway, they ended up selling Joseph, man. Instead of killing him, Reuben thought of an idea that, hey, let's just sell him into another nation, right? Basically, they tried to sell him into slavery, right? So that's what ended up happening, man. Some Egyptians came by, man. They sold him into them, and they took back the coat and lied and told their daddy that Joseph had been eaten up, man, by some kind of animal. Well, let's read Acts 7 and 10. The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 10. And delivered him out of all his affliction, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. So they sold him into slavery, but the Most High God said that he delivered him out of all his afflictions, man, right? And gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh. That's what the Most High God will do for you. He'll bring you out of the situation you're in. But you gotta what? Stay in the spirit, man. You gotta stay on the right course. Let's go to Psalm 30 and 5. Said the Lord gave him favor, showed him favor, man.
The book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5. For his anger endured but a moment.
His anger endured but a moment. Read.
In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
So even though you might have some anguish right through your trial, the Lord still will show you favor, man. We know this, man. We know that after the rain comes what? Sunshine, man. It gotta be. So the Lord will show you favor in your battles and your tests, but you gotta be willing to stay in the spirit on that thing, man. Who gonna stay in the spirit? Who is you gonna cuss sister back out because she cussed you out? Or you gonna stay in the spirit and let the Lord fight you out? Is you gonna get mad at brother because he got mad at you, or you gonna stay in the spirit and let the Lord deal with it, man? That's what you gotta do. Let's go to Genesis, go back to Genesis. Because it said he showed him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and made him governor over Egypt and all his house. Let's go see that, man. Go to Genesis 39. And start at 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 39, verse 1. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt. And Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the land of the Ishmaelites.
Bought him of the hands.
Of the hand of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither.
Read.
And the Lord was with Joseph.
You see that? How did the Lord be with? The Lord was with him. Because he was still in favor with the Most High God because he was keeping the commandments. Read.
And he was a prosperous man. And he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian.
Read.
And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand.
So he was sold into Egyptian, right? But instead of him going into slavery, they made him what? They made him a master of the house. Because he saw that the Lord was dealing with him, man. The Egyptians saw that the Lord was dealing with Joseph, man. So even though the brothers tried to kill him and then conspired to sell him into slavery, he never went into slavery, man, right? He went into jail, right? We'll see that a little bit later, but the Lord was with him and never put him into slavery.
Verse 4. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him. So did I read this?
Yeah.
Okay. So verse 4. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house and all that he had put into his hand.
So the Egyptian made Joseph what? Overseer of the house. Read.
Verse 5. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake.
For whose sake?
For Joseph's sake.
He blessed the Egyptian house for Joseph's sake, man. Right? This Egyptian gonna prosper because my chosen is in that thing, man. Right? This warehouse, I always used to think of that, man. When we did security, I was like, man, when they let us go, we'll get word back that something happened at the spot. But because the Lord was dealing with us, his children was in there. Soon as y'all let us go, hey, ain't no more help. Right? Because the Lord was dealing with us, man.
And you know what's crazy? Like when me and y'all was doing security, guess what? The main spot was making our money. They got a fence around that mug, man. Guess what? Closed off.
Closed off.
Shut down, man.
Shut down.
Because that's why y'all think, man, when the light is in the middle of the darkness, everybody see the light, man.
That's right.
And the Lord see the blessings that it's always a blessing coming around the lights, man.
That's right.
Right? But when you leave there, guess what happened, man? Might drop down 10%. You might not even see it. Might drop down 20. Some of them might shut down all the way completely, man.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like the Lord gonna keep them angels of protection around you, man.
That's right.
This right here was through Joseph's affliction, right? The Lord was with him while he was being supposed to be afflicted. That's what his brothers was thought anyway.
That's right. Read on.
That the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake.
Read.
And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field.
Read 6.
And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. And he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored.
So Joseph was well favored. So when we go back to Acts and we read verse 10 again.
Oh, let me get a precept real quick.
Go ahead.
Let's go to the book of Genesis. Even like what Oxnard is touching on, this is why this is pivotal in these last days. Give me Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. And we see a lot of times whenever Israel go to places, we build up their kingdoms. But the Most High God put a clause in that thing too, though, in the contract. You get that read this out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee. Read that again now. And I will bless them that bless thee.
So a nation's survival is predicated on them blessing us back. We know all these other nations is gonna get it because they ain't did what? They ain't blessed us. They don't look at us like we God's chosen people. They look at us like we the scum of the earth. That's why the Most High God is gonna bring ultimate judgment on them. Because within the commandments, that's why ultimately why Christ did what? Healed that Canaanite woman. Because she understood her place.
That's right.
If these nations blessed us, then guess what? The Most High God is gonna bless them, man. That's the clause, that hidden clause in the contract that Christians try to abuse. No, that's talking about the Israelites only. Go ahead.
That's that hidden clause. That's right, man. So when we go back to Acts 7 and 10, it says that delivered him out of all his afflictions and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And he was made governor over Egypt and all his house. So that was the first thing that the Most High God did with Joseph. Is that he made him what? The leader over that Egyptian's house, right? Then you go through 40 and 39 and 40, and you see that what? Then he was tempted by the wife of that Egyptian at the house, right? What did she want to do with Joseph? She wanted to sleep with the brother, man. Right? She wanted to sleep with Joseph, but what did Joseph do? He denied the lust, man. The Lord, he was always staying in order of the Most High God. That's why the Lord was dealing with him. So now you're going to see Joseph go through a little minor affliction, right? Because he denied that, and eventually the wife lied and said that Oh, well, he tried to sleep with her. This is how Joseph goes to jail, right? In jail, Joseph meets who? We're just getting a rundown because we're not going through all of them, but I'm gonna go to the next spot. He meets who? And who else?
Wine and the butler.
And the butler. He meets the butler and the baker, right? And what do they ask Joseph to do? There we go. I'm glad y'all read, man.
Remember, Joseph was keeping the commandments. So even with that sister trying to deal with him, he ran away because the scriptures tell us what? Not to deal with not to sit at all with other men's wives.
That's right.
Brothers got to understand that, man. Understand the respect factor within that's set up by the Most High God, man.
Mm-hmm.
According to the book of Sirach. I have to find and get it back to you. What brother know what that precept is real quick?
So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sirach chapter 5 and read verse 6 too. Sirach chapter 5. Sirach chapter 9 and verse start at verse 4.
The book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 5. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things.
Read verse 4.
Oh, Salaki, verse 4. Sirach, chapter 9, verse 4. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. Verse 5. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her.
So this is showing you on how to navigate dealing with lust, dealing with beautiful women. Read on up.
Give not thy soul unto harlots,
And whores. Read on up.
that thou lose not thy inheritance.
Read on.
Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary places thereof.
Neither what? Literally going out searching for prostitutes. Read on up.
Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty.
Read on.
For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman.
Because a lot of times brothers look upon the beauty of a sister to do what? To take her for lust, not to marry that sister. Read on up.
For herewith love is kindled as a fire.
This is the point that I want. Read on.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
So this is the law that, guess what? That Joseph was keeping.
That's right.
Read that again, huh?
Sit not at all with another man's wife,
Read on, huh?
nor sit down with her in thy arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine,
Be trying to buy another man's wife something. Read on.
lest thine heart incline unto her.
That's like what?
Lest thine heart incline unto her.
Read on.
And so through thy desire, thou fall into destruction.
Because eventually it leads to what? Adultery. Even like what I was bringing out in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. How these things are a trickle-down effect to lead you to be destroyed.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That's right. So going back over it, and all this stuff was happening. Joseph getting put to jail, meeting the butler and the baker. All this happened for what? For God's will, man. For the good of the nation, man. The tribulations and the things that we go through, like I said, you don't understand it all the time. But it's for the greater use of the Most High God. It was all part of his plan. So he meets the butler and the baker, and they have a dream, right? And they want somebody to interpret the dream. Joseph interprets the dream, right? So Joseph said, one of y'all gonna go back to your form, and one of y'all gonna get put to death, right? Basically what he told him. He told him the dream. That came to happen. That came to pass, right? Joseph told him what? Just remember me. That's all Joseph said. You don't owe me nothing. Just remember me, right? So now when Pharaoh, when his dream came to pass, and I believe the butler was put to death. I'm not misreading. Let's read 40 and 5. Because I don't want to butcher.
The book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 5. And they dreamed a dream, both of them. Each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. But the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison.
Jump over to verse 9.
Verse 9. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph and said to him, in my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches, and it was though it budded, and her blossom shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes, and Pharaoh's cup was in my hand. And I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine hand and restore thee unto thy place. And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand after the former manner when thou wast his butler.
So the dream was the butler was to what? Be restored back into his place, right? He was in prison at the time, but in 3 days he was going to be out and he was going to become what? The butler again, right? We'll drop down to 16.
Verse 16. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head.
Right. So what did Joseph tell him?
And Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee.
So you see that this came to pass. That the butler came back into restored to being a butler, but the baker was put to death, right? So pushing forward, now Pharaoh has a dream that needs to be interpreted. So Pharaoh is looking for somebody to interpret a dream. The butler tells him, hey, I know a guy. He interpreted my dream in jail, right? So now Pharaoh is looking for Joseph to interpret his dream, right? Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream, and now we see where Joseph is being made a ruler over Egypt. Now let's read Genesis 41 and 37. 37.
The book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants.
Read.
And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?
Read.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
So because Joseph was, but the Most High was dealing with Joseph, Pharaoh let him know, hey man, ain't nobody wise as you, man. Read.
Verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled.
Man.
Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
He said, only in the throne will I be greater than you, Joseph. He gave him everything, man. Made him king over everything except him, basically, right?
Let me get the precept real quick.
Read. Go ahead. Read, bring it out. Get it, pull it.
Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 8. And these precepts, like I always tell brothers, should be in the spirit to bring these things out, man. Without brothers having to even go over these things. Read that right quick. 1 Samuel 2 and 8. Because even like how Ak is touching on, this is why we get raised up from a lower state, man. We do the will of the Most High. Read that out.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 8. He raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill.
So guess what? He raised up Joseph from a low estate. That's what going into the dust. It's nothing lower than the dust of the ground. Read on out.
And lifted up the beggar from the dunghill.
Read on out.
To set them among princes.
To do what?
To set them among princes.
Was not he set among Pharaoh? Read on out.
And to make them inherit the throne of glory.
And guess what? He was second in command to the throne. So we see how the Most High God deals when we deal righteously with him.
Let's get another precept right quick. Go to First Maccabees, chapter 2. Even the Maccabees had to use this history, man. Right? First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 3, verse 53. Let's read it out. Because think about it too. During the time of Maccabees, guess what they was going over the history too, right? That's how do you think we got strengthened? We didn't get strengthened because we separated it like I was going into. Guess what? We got strengthened because guess what? We knew history. We knew how to build our people up through the precepts of God's word, right? But read that.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 53.
Read.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
So guess what? Even the Maccabees had to use the same. They had to use the scriptures to build. They didn't use they didn't use guess what made sweet things. No, they used the scriptures. In the time of distress, guess what we supposed to go do? In the time of joy, in distress, what we do? We lean on the scriptures, man. Go ahead.
So go back and read, finish off Genesis 41. And where was we at? 41.
We have 40, we have 41.
Yeah.
The book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
So Joseph was over all Egypt for the reason of the Most High God. Why? Because what was Joseph interpretation of Pharaoh's dream? The famine, right? That was going to be 7 years of what? Good, and then 7 years of famine, right? So this is all playing a part in the Most High God's will for him to come back and for us to basically take over the promised land that He's given us. That's all this is going into, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck.
Read.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt.
Man, that came to pass, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt.
Read.
And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath Paneah, and he gave to him wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt.
Because what the Most High God to do? He'll make even your what? Enemies be at peace with you, man. You see that? He made his enemies be at peace with him. Pharaoh said, man, ain't nobody gonna touch you, man. As long as I'm here, man. What's the precept, brother? Anybody got that precept? Let's get it. That's right. Proverbs 16 and 7, man.
I'm gonna tell you, even what I was just reading, that thing is a heavy point. Mainly a shot at to Egyptologists, because we get this notion out there that there's no evidence of Israel being in Egypt, but it's a book called The Pictorial History of Israel, where it literally shows you written on the walls how they changed Joseph's name to that. Literally has his pictures and everything. So we always trying to kill that notion that that's what it's no history of Israel being in Egypt.
Man, we come on that.
There's many books. There's a few books out there.
Read that out.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord,
When your ways please your God, man, what do?
he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
He made his enemy be at peace with him. Pharaoh was our enemy. The Egyptians were our enemies, man. Still are, ain't no word, right? But he made Pharaoh to bless him, put him second in commandment, put him over all Egypt, man. It was the Lord's doing. It was the Lord's doing, man, right? So let's go back to Acts, man. So we see that the Lord was with Joseph, right? And even though his brothers conspired to be against him and to sell him into slavery, that wasn't the plan of the Most High God. That the Most High God showed him favor and wisdom, man, and made him governor over Egypt. Let's go back to Acts 7:11.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 11.
Bring it up.
Now there came a dearth over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no substance.
Read.
But when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first.
So it said there was a dirt that came over the land. What is that dirt going into? A famine, right? That's
Drought.
same thing. It's like a drought or famine. That's right. So the interpretation of Pharaoh's dream was that famine was going to come. So that's why Pharaoh was so hardened after Joseph, right? But it says, there came a dirt over the land of Egypt and came to great affliction, and our father found no substance. Let's go to Genesis 41. And read verse 53.
The book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 53. And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of dearth began to come according as Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread.
So you see that the dirt had came. You see it's saying the same thing, that the dirt was over the land. So the dirt had come, the 7 years of plenteousness had ended, and now the 7 years of dirt had came, right? So they said that Egypt had bread though, right? So go back to Acts 7 and read verse 12.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 12. But when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first.
He sent out our fathers first. So Jacob heard that there was still bread and stuff to eat after the famine that came. So he sent the brothers back to Egypt. Remember, the Lord is going to have this thing like a ring, man. The same way they try to do is the same way they have to come back to Joseph, man. And this is the whole point of this lesson, man, that the Most High God is going to have them same people that's trying to do you dirty come back to be the same people that want to know about, hey, can you teach me this, brother? Can you learn me this, sister? Can you help me out with this? Can I use this for you? Can I use your sewing machine? They're going to come around, right? It's going to be the same thing. Let's go to Genesis 42 and read verse, start at 1. Just read a little bit, 1 through 6. Well, we'll read 1 through 8.
The book of Genesis, chapter 42, verse 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his son, why do you look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. Verse 5, and the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him, with their faces to the earth.
See that? The Most High God made his brother come right back and bow down to him, right? The dream that Joseph told him, right?
What? Who's paying attention? What verse was that?
We read it earlier. Let's see if brothers can put it together and
Put it
just
together.
following along. I said, what verse?
That his brothers are going to have to come back and bow down to him.
No, 37.
No.
Let's see.
Genesis 37:6, when Joseph gave them the understanding of the dream.
Who said that? Damn it. I can hear Soldier Donovan say y'all every time, man. Brothers gotta take them good notes, man. Pay attention.
That's right. That's exactly what happened. Joseph told them, like they said, what, you gonna rule over us? Well, we gonna have to bow down to you? And lo and behold, what did they have to come to Egypt and do? Bow down to Joseph, man.
So when he said that they was gonna have to bow down to him, they plotted to put him to death. So now they at death's bed right now. They got to bow down.
You see how it worked? Now they down there on the outskirts of being dead. Because ain't no damn food in Canaan. Right? You see how this work, man? The Most High God is going to be with who is with him. He said, I love them that love me, man. For the Proverbs 8:17. You got to make sure that you stay in the spirit for these tests, man. Right? So read 7 again. 42 and 7. 42 and 7.
Book of Genesis, chapter 42, verse 7. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him. They knew not him.
So Joseph wasn't rendering evil for evil when he spoke roughly. What does that mean? He just changed his voice up, right? He spoke to them like in a stronger manner. As being the ruler over Egypt, he didn't want to have compassion and give away at that time. And guess what? This your brother, man. So he spoke in a different manner, right? But and that's another thing. Joseph never tried to get no get back, man. If y'all read this story, Joseph never tried to get no get back. You've never seen a story that Joseph said, y'all go back and tell my dad what y'all did to me. You won't find it damn time. Go back and tell Jacob that y'all tried to kill me, man. That y'all conspired to kill me. Not one time. Because we ain't got to get back, man. Let the Lord be your get back.
Guarantee can't nobody get back like the Lord can.
Can't nobody get back like him, man. Like I said, all this stuff going to the spiritual realm of the class, man. That's what it's about, man. Don't let nobody take your crown because you want to get some damn get back. Come on, man. Wear your crown. So they had to come and bow down before Joseph. Go back to Acts 7:13. So that was the first time they came. But remember, how many brothers came?
10.
10. I'll pray. So they gonna come back, read 13, Acts 7:13.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 13. And at the second time, Joseph was made known to his brethren, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh.
You see that? So Joseph made them go back. And who was left behind? Joseph. You did say it. Benjamin, I'll praise it. So Joseph made them go back. And y'all know I heard y'all too. I'm just messing with y'all. Joseph made them go back. He wanted to see all of his brethren, right?
Hey, he hood and want you to get Benjamin, man.
We already know he know that. I'll praise it. So Joseph said, I'm gonna keep one of your brothers locked up. Y'all got to go back and get Benjamin, right? And bring him back. Joseph wanted to see all his brethren. So it said the second time they came back, Joseph made himself known to his brethren then, right? The first time, what did Joseph do? He hid his face. He spoke different, right? So they wouldn't understand it was him. But the second time, he made them go get Benjamin and come back. He wanted to see all of his brothers. Let's go to, give me 1 Peter 3:9. Well, before we go to, let's go to Genesis 45 right quick. My bad. Let's go to Genesis 45. We'll read 1 through 4, then we'll go. So the second time, like I said, he sent Joseph, he sent the matriarchs to go back to get his little brother Benjamin, right? Go get everybody. So now he come back because he kept one of the brothers in prison so that they would come back, right? So now they done came back. Genesis 45:1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all of them that stood by him. And he cried, because every man to go out from me.
He said, y'all gotta leave, man. Y'all gotta leave. All my brothers here, these my brothers, man. The same Negroes that tried to kill me, these my brothers, right? The same love he had for his brothers then is the same love he had for them now. Didn't lose it, right? These are the things that we got to take with the class, right? The same love he had for his brothers, it was the same love he had for them when they came back. So he made everybody leave out because he couldn't hold it no more, right? Read.
While Joseph made himself known unto his brethren, and he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard.
So he was so weak and so loud for his brethren that they all heard him, right? Read. You know, Joseph the man in Egypt. So what's going on? It's Joseph crying. Yeah, we got to see what's to it. Because remember, he made his enemies be at peace with him. Read.
And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doeth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him.
Speechless. Dang, we tried to kill this Negro. Speechless. Read.
For they were troubled at his presence.
Yeah. You mean the king, the leader of Egypt is our brother? The one who we sold? This nigga one line. For real, read.
And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
Whom you sold into Egypt. Read on.
Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life.
You see that Joseph was in the spirit with this thing. He knew what it was. He knew the Lord was using him for the greater use of the nation. But look what Joseph said. Y'all don't trip. What we have to say? Nigga, I'm about to keep myself from going off on one of you niggas. I don't know what, but what's that movie, The Four Brothers? They tried to accuse Andre 3000 of trying to take some money out of his mouth. And when he found out that what they was trying to say and that they was wrong, he stole them. Nick, what? Man, you had to keep me off one of them Negroes, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. He didn't say, I'm cool, y'all. Don't worry. He said, y'all don't trip. What y'all tripping for? They tried to kill me. This is how much of the spirit Joseph is, right?
Okay, thinking back in the storyline, how can the brothers stay that much fervent in the spirit, man? How can the brothers just think about this? How can the brothers stay that much fervent in the spirit? Reason why Joseph was that fervent in the spirit, because the Lord was with him the whole time.
Remember, Acts 7:12 said, but God was with him.
Right? So while the Lord being with Joseph the whole time, when he get around his brothers, should he get out the spirit because he get around them? Hell to the no. That's what it's gonna be a lot. That's why it's gonna be a lot of people don't dislike you. Guess what? If somebody dislikes you today, they're not gonna be the only person that's gonna ever not like you. There's gonna be some more people that not like you too. Right? It could be your own family.
That's right.
Like you say, don't get the crown taken away, man.
That's right. Don't let that crown get taken away. Joseph was not letting that crown get took away from him, man. Tighten it up. Y'all don't be tripping. Y'all don't trip. Not me not trip, but y'all don't trip, right? Jump over to 16.
The book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 16. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come, and it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants.
So it pleased Pharaoh and his servants for Joseph to get back playing with his brother. Well, that's to make your enemies be at peace all day long. You feel me? Read.
Verse 17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, say unto thy brethren, this do ye, lad your beast, and go, get you unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and you shall eat the fat of the land.
You see what the Most High God is doing? Whole time, like old boy say, whole time. They don't even understand it. Whole time the Lord for to give them the promised land, man. For to make us a great nation in Egypt, man, right? The whole time. We don't understand it. Whole time the Lord doing it for us right then and there. Read.
Verse 19. Now thou art commanded, this do ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father and come. Also regard not your stuff, for good of all the land of Egypt is
You
yours.
see that? For the good of the land of Egypt is yours, man. That's what he was trying to do for them, man. That's what he was trying to do. Go ahead.
You see how he said, regard not your stuff. It said, man, you ain't got to bring your stuff. Everything we got here, y'all can have all of this.
Just go get them.
Ain't this good, boy.
The Most High God trying to put us in high perspective in Egypt, man. That was the whole point of him doing it, right? It wasn't the whole point of just to use Joseph and make him rule over his brothers. Nah, it wasn't even about Joseph. It was about the nation of Israel, man. Sometimes when you pass these tests, it ain't even for you. It's for somebody else to see, right? Your test is for somebody else to see sometimes. And let's go to that 1 Peter, man, 3 and 9.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 9.
Bring it out.
Not rendering evil for evil.
You see, Joseph wasn't rendering evil for evil. When Joseph seen his brother, he could have went and slapped all of them. He could have told them, hey, go get Pharaoh, man. Tell Pharaoh to go get, how many brothers is he? 11 brothers, nigga. Go get 11 niggas, because every one of them could slap one of these niggas. He could have did whatever he wanted to, because he was ruler over Egypt at that time. Nobody was greater than him but Pharaoh. He could have did whatever he wanted to do. But Joseph wasn't rendering evil for evil. That's what we got to understand. Just because somebody else do something on me, you got to do. Read that again.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing.
For what?
But contrariwise, blessing,
Knowing what?
knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Joseph had it on his mind. What blessing was Joseph had on his mind? He was going to inherit the kingdom, man, that crown. Right? Not railing for railing or evil for evil, man. Right? Get another precept, man. Let's go to Romans 12 and 17. You get there, bring it up.
The book of Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
You gotta be honest in the sight of all men, man. Right? Read on.
If it be possible.
If it be possible. It was possible for Joseph, man. He didn't have to do nothing to him. Right? Read.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Read.
Verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath.
Don't avenge yourself, because it's not your fight. Joseph could avenge himself, but he knew that it was bigger than Joseph. It was for the nation of Israel, man. Pharaoh commanded that all his wives and brothers and sisters and fathers, that they come to Egypt. We're going to be a great nation, man. We're going to take over the promised land, right? But that's the whole thing that it was. Read.
For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord.
Read on.
Verse 20. Therefore, if thine enemies hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head.
And at that time, his brothers was basically considered his enemy, right? But they came to him for food and he fed them. Not only did he feed them, but he sent them back home with money, with extra food, right? They were like, hey man, we had some extra money. Like, yeah, I said that. So yeah, I did that. Right? Read on.
Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
And that's what Joseph did. He overcame the evil that his brothers did to him for good, man. Right? Same thing. We got to look at this thing, right? When people try to bring you evil, you do it, you bring good to them, man. Right?
Brothers and sisters must understand this shit. People like what I can bring it out, you always got to do what? Look at the bigger picture. A lot of times, like we say, we got to shake that selfish spirit that's in Israel. Even according to what? Sirach chapter 24 and 34. We ain't laboring just for ourselves, but for our nation. Brothers got to keep in mind and have that mindset, man, because this is what Joseph was doing. That's the prime example of it.
That's right, bro. Let's go to Acts 7 and read verse 14. So the second time that the brothers came back, he made himself known to them. Then, Pharaoh sends for his father, right? And now go back and get everybody, man. Y'all can have everything y'all want in this land because of Joseph, because the Most High God was dealing with Joseph, man. Like I said, Joseph looked at this picture for the bigger picture, man. It wasn't just I, me, self. It was us, nation, our, right? 14.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 14. Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred, 75 souls.
Read on.
Verse 15. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, he and our fathers. Verse 16. And were carried over into Shechem and laid in the sepulchre that Abraham bought for a sum of money of the sons of Emor, the father of Shechem. Read. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which God had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt.
You see that? The time of the promise had come. When the time of the promise had come. Because what was that promise, man?
The land, promised land, bring him into,
Who was the promise to?
Abraham.
Who?
Abraham.
See, it goes deeper. What did the Most High God promise Abraham? The land of Canaan, that they will flourish. Well, let's go to Exodus, man. See, it's bigger than just you. This thing was for the greater gift of the nation. Let's go to Exodus 1 and 7. You can also, Genesis 17, right? Let's go to verse 5. Exodus 1 and 5.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already.
You see that? I'm glad I made me start up because I was going to 7. Joseph was in Egypt already. Joseph had everything, and he had everything ready for us, man. Right? Read.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren, in all that generation. Read. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them.
And the land was filled with them. Let's go to Genesis, man. 17. When the time of the promise had come, man. Let's start at 4. We'll read down to 8.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 4. Read. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
So Abraham was going to be a father of many nations. Read on.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Read.
and I will make thee exceeding fruitful.
So this is going into the promise. I will make thee exceeding fruitful, read.
And I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Read.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee.
And thy seed after thee. Remember, we were going into Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read.
In their generations for an everlasting covenant.
For how long?
An everlasting covenant.
Read.
To be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee.
Read on. Verse 8 is the point.
And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger.
So what?
The land. So like the land wherein thou art a stranger.
So he said he's going to give his seed after him the land wherein thou was a stranger. Where were we a stranger? In Canaan, in Egypt, right? Read.
All the land of Canaan.
What? All of the land of Canaan. You see that? This is going into the promise, man. Read.
For an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
And the land of Canaan was going to be ours for an everlasting possession. So it started way before Jacob, man. I mean, before Joseph, man. This is the Most High God using the nation, man, for his gift, man, for his use, right? Let's go to Psalm 105 and 24. We almost out of here, Israel. Stay with me. Psalm 105, verse 24. Start up at 23.
The book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 23.
What did you say? Oh, I thought brother said something like that. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 23. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham.
You see that? Israel also came into Egypt because remember, Pharaoh sent for all of us, man, right? So Israel came into the land of Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham, right? Read.
And he increased his people greatly.
What did he do?
And he increased his people greatly.
That's what the Most High God's plan was, for us to increase greatly in that land. Read.
And made them stronger than their enemies.
Read that again.
And made them stronger than their enemies.
That was the purpose, man. For us to go inherit that land and make us stronger than our enemies at that time, man. Read on.
He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants.
So you see the greater gift of this thing, like Benaniyah said, we got to look at the bigger picture of this thing. Was for us to be a great nation, exceedingly powerful than our own, than our enemies, man, right? Let's go to Sirach 11. And we'll read, start at 4.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 4.
Bring it up.
Boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor.
Because see, Joseph could have did all that. Joseph could have exalted himself. He could have boasted, right, of being king of Egypt or the rule over Egypt, over the house. He could have did all that. Read.
For the works of the Lord are wonderful.
The works of who?
The works of the Lord are wonderful.
But those wasn't his works. Those were the works of the Lord. Remember that, brothers and sisters. The works of the Lord are wonderful. Read.
And his works among men are hidden.
And his works are sometimes hidden. You won't understand it. Just do the work. You don't understand this tribulation, this trial that you're going through. Just go through it. Just stay in the spirit with it. Just keep the faith, right? Because the works of the Lord is wonderful. Read on.
Many kings have sit down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown.
Hey, man. Many kings that sat on the ground, and one that was never thought of. Say, man.
Man, that thing
That's
is
heavy, man.
that thing is heavy.
That thing is heavy, man. Read, go ahead. Now, hold on. I know better now.
That thing is heavy, man. Think about it, man. You think the world can see us as kings of this earth? Think about it, man. Look how we mocked as a nation of people. Look how our sisters are mocked, man. Look how we mock each other, man. This thing is heavy, man. That's why it's pivotal, like I said, that we don't let nobody take our crown, because if you do, you won't get rulership over this kingdom. That's right. You can't rule yourself, rule your household, rule the congregation, and keep these things in order. You think you'll be ready to rule the world? Some of them brothers have to meditate on. Sisters too, man, because y'all got to get in order as well.
That's right, man. We would never look on as being God's chosen people. What? The real Jews? Them niggas? Them niggas? Yeah, right. But it said many people were sat down on the ground, man, and gave that crown. That's us, Israel. We ain't looked at as being God's chosen people. They still don't believe us to this day. To this day. To this day. But guess what? We already know. We know prophecy, man. We know that if we stay on that course, that the Most High God gonna give us that crown, man, like He said He would, man. So make sure you stay on that course. So let no man take your crown. Let me get this last precept, and then we'll get along. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15. Shalaki, Genesis chapter 50. Shalaki, Genesis chapter 50 and start at 15. Remember, I told you that your enemy gonna look at you in anguish, and that anguish gonna hurt them. Them trials of enemies that try you, they going to come back around full circle, man, and pay you homage. And that stuff gonna hurt them. That anguish gonna hurt them, man. Let's get before this. Let's read it again. Hold on.
Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra right quick.
Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, and verse 42. Because even like I said, this is the goal, man, to get that crown placed on our head. When you get to read that up, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 42. I Esdras saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with song. Read on, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature. There was a who? There was a young man. A who? A young man.
So to say this, we always see those old images of Christ, but the scripture just said that Christ was a what?
Young man.
A young man.
Read on, of a high stature, meaning he was greatly exalted. Read on, taller than all the rest, meaning what? He had more authority than everybody. Read on, and upon every one of their heads he set crown. He did what? He set crown. He did what? He set crown. Read on, and was more exalted.
And was more exalted because he was giving them what? Power and authority. Read on,
which I marvel at great
power, authority, immortality, and what? And the kingdom. Read on,
So I asked the angel, and said, Sir, what are these?
So Ezra asked him, what are these? Read on,
He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothes.
So what are
the mortal clothes?
Meaning what? You done cast off sin. You done cast off envy. You done cast off rendering hatred for hatred. Read on,
and put on the immortal.
And have put on the what?
The immortal.
Those what those crowns symbolize. Immortality. Man, read on,
and have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned?
Now are they what?
Now are they crowned? Read on, and receive palm.
Go ahead,
man. That's a great precept, man. Couldn't have ended that class better than that, man. That's a great precept. I'm gonna say it myself and I put it, because that's a great precept for this class, man. Man, those are the crowns that we want to receive, man. I'll praise that my brother had my back, man. That's a great precept, man. When you see that man of high stature, Christ, come and set crowns on your head, man. Job well done. You fought the fight, great servant. Man, that's heavy, man. Let's get that Genesis 50 and 15.
The book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 15. And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us it will certainly requite us all the evil which we did unto him.
You see that? You see how they thinking? That anguish on their butts now. Damn, Jacob died, our father done died. Now Joseph gonna be able, he gonna be able to do what he want to do to us now. Right? That anguish on their butt now. Now it's gonna be on them. They thinking like that, but Joseph ain't even thinking like that, man. Right? Read.
And they sent the messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying,
Say, man. These Negroes crazy. Hold on now, Joseph. You know what our daddy said. Don't start tripping now. Joseph, your daddy did command you, saying what?
saying, so shall you say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him.
They act like they gotta reiterate this to Joseph. Shit, Joseph been in the spirit way longer than y'all was in and out or whatever the case it is. Joseph been keeping the commandments. He been in the spirit, been keeping the faith. Remember what Daddy said? Daddy said that you gotta forgive us. Right? Read on.
And his brethren also went and fell down before his face. And they said, behold, we be thy servants.
You see that? So now when you go back to that Genesis 37, man, now you see that, guess what? It came to fruition, man. It had to come alive, man. Scriptures come alive. His brother said, we be thy servants. Same dream that he told them when they laughed at him, wanted to put him to death. Same dream they had to come back and get their mind right. It's a circle, it's a ring. Read.
And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of God?
So I've been in the spirit. Yeah, you talking about, right? Read.
But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it good to bring to pass.
Read that again.
But as for you, ye thought evil against me.
Y'all thought evil upon me. But what did God do?
But God meant it. But God meant it unto good.
But God meant the evil that you brought me into good, man. The evil that you tried to hit me with, God brought it to be good, man. Right? That's how Joseph hit him with it, man. Read it.
To bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive.
To save much people alive. That's the whole greater value of it. This is the bigger picture. Joseph was looking at the bigger picture. It was up for me to go to jail and get lied on by this woman and have to interpret these dreams in order to save much lives, man. And that's how we got to do Israel. You got to beat these damn spirits that's on you. You got to beat these damn tests and trials that the Most High give you to save lives, to receive your crown, man. Read up.
Verse 21. Now therefore, fear ye not. I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them.
You see that? Joseph never got out of the spirit, man. He said, I'm going to nourish your little ones. I'm going to bring them up. That's my family. I'm going to speak kindly to you. That's what we got to do, Israel, man. All praises for this lesson that the Most High God gave us. We pray that it's edifying for the nation, for the children of Israel, man. If y'all haven't tuned in and signed in to our Facebook, our YouTube, please go click the link. Make sure that you log in to us, subscribe to our YouTube, that you can get all of our classes, man. We have classes every day, man. We thank brothers and sisters that sent to the GoFundMe and the Cash App. That money has been greatly used for the building of this nation and kingdom, man, right? We always say, let's keep the laws of the Most High God. So let's get this law before we end class tonight. Leviticus 19 and 18.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18.
Bring it out.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So just like we read in Genesis 50, where the brother said, well, your daddy told you. Joseph was like, I'm already in the spirit. I ain't gonna burn no grudge against you. I'm keeping the law. That's why the Lord dealing with me, right? Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. And I'm gonna tell you, How many of you could actually not bear a grudge if your own brother's trying to kill you, man? That's tough, man. That's why I love this class with Joseph. We had to bring this out, man. Right now. Don't give a damn. Your brother trying to kill you, you come out of it and you see your brother, what you gonna do? Brother or not? What? You try, huh? What you say, come on? Yeah, I know. That's why we gotta get that spirit off our head. Exactly. That's exactly why we brought out this class. And read that again.
Leviticus 19 and 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
But what?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
I hope y'all brothers and sisters stay in the spirit today. Continue to have a great Sabbath. Go out there and have a great camp this evening. You got the thing up? With that, say Shalom, Israel.